All right, here we go.
Today we're going back to the mountain. Look at these again. What a beautiful place.
Ito ang kadalasang content ng American national na si Elliot Eastman sa
Okay, obviously she said this is the usual content of Elliot Eastman.
kanyang vlogs.
Because coral reefs are beautiful.
Kung gaano kasimple, kasaya, at kapayapa ang buhay niya sa probinsya ng Zamboanga del Norte sa Mindanao.
She says he's been living a happy and peaceful life in Zamboanga del Norte in Mindanao.
Kasama ang kanyang asawang Pilipina.
Kabayan, siya po yung aking asawa. Siya Ari. You want a Filipina girl? Look, my husband, he's using my makeup. Look at that.
Pero ang tahimik nilang pagsasama, nabulabog. Nung si Elliot, dinukot ng mga lalaki sa sarili pa man din nilang tahanan.
Says, but this peaceful life was ruined when several men came in and took Elliot from literally inside his house. That's what she said.
Pinaghahanap ng mga otoridad ang Amerikanong dinukot umano ng mga armadong lalaki na nagpakilalang pulis sa Zamboanga del Norte.
Well, says, yeah, well,
There was just a news clip that
Yeah.
was in there.
is the cop that's just saying again, that's the newscaster saying that the cops are looking for a taken American from Zamboanga del Norte.
Isang gawe dito. Mabait yung Amerikano na yun.
Baka kinidnam siya na maraming siyang pera, isipin nila kasi foreigner yun.
Says they took the guy probably because he's a foreigner and they think he has lots of money.
Yeah, that was a neighbor or somebody in town.
From the US, but I'm living here in the Philippines and I'm starting business.
Ano nga ba ang tunay na motibo sa sinasabing pagkidnap o pagdukot sa American vlogger?
This is a valid question. She says, what is the real reason or motive for them to take this American vlogger?
I'm scared.
Dito sa Sibuco, Zamboanga del Norte nakatira ang pamilya ng misis ni Elliot, si Carisha. Simula nung pumutok ang balita sa pagkakakidnap sa kanyang mister, naging ilag siya na magpa-interview sa media.
Okay. She says, I believe she said that, speaking of the wife, what it is when we go into this movie, big crop section outside. She says that the wife avoided speaking to the media once she heard that her husband was taken.
Pero sa linggong ito, eksklusibo siyang nagpaunlak ng panayam sa KMJS.
But this week, she exclusively gave us this interview. So she was avoiding the media.
This just came out in the actually it was last night or something.
Right.
So
So yeah, she was avoiding the media up until she was contacted by Jessica Soho.
which actually changes some of the speculation of people that she has stayed silent because of the investigation. And to me, this is this woman, Jessica Soho, does a lot of talking. She's, to me, one of the most chattiest. I will call it's not really chismis, but it is. She covers everything. I've seen her cover stories about everything. Culture to love to crimes to, you said her content is what? You said it the other day.
Well, remember, first off, again,
She covers spirits and ghosts
before
and stuff.
Jessica Soho's show, just so you guys know, again, she was a she worked her way up. First, she was a newscaster, and then turned field journalist, and so on
Well,
and so
she
forth.
still does. There's like
Right.
three.
Well, what I'm saying is on her now that she has her own show, she does the title of her show is Kapuso Mo Jessica So, which means your it's kind of Kapuso. It means
Something
of
hard.
same heart.
Right, but
Yes.
that's not the only one. This one was on.
Well,
DMA
what it
Public.
is, she does now what's that, human relation videos, if that makes any sense. So
And there is the original video. We're not even going to attempt to play the original through.
Right.
So that is for sure.
yeah.
Their stuff is heavily copyrighted, so that's
So-
why it's being done this way. But the original link will be in the description here in a little bit.
So like we said again, this is the first time she spoke to media.
Right, and
Yeah.
this really will be an eye opener here. So
Kwento ni Carisha, tulog na raw sila pasado 11:00 ng gabi nitong October 17.
that's the neighbor.
Okay. So they already on the day that they took them. They already went to bed at around 8. They already. Well, here she says she was already asleep. They already went to bed. That's
Okay.
what at 8.
Nung nagising sila sa putok ng baril sa labas ng kanilang bahay.
Now here's the important thing, and he said what woke him up was a gunshot from outside the house. Okay. Now, we're just real quick. My theory is they took out the light, the outside light, because she said they destroyed the light. Anyway,
Narinig po yung nanay ko na tumuktok pa siya. Hindi man kami nag-open ng door, sinipa nila.
That was her.
so she said the gunshot woke us up. Now, remember again, I'm just translating. He's still sleeping. Then they kick in the door.
So they made it all the way because that's just not
But-
like a flat house. There's literally like different doors. So
But here's the
I'm trying to
thing.
figure how they knew where he was.
Remember, in our last live, we're reading literally what they said that they said on the same show.
Yeah. So now
According
we
to
have
what we read in the last live, he was outside walking by himself.
something
But
like
on
that.
this interview,
That'll tell you there's going to be a lot of
Right.
he said, she said, third parts to the story.
correct. I'm
and
just translating,
everything.
but again, they were asleep.
There
And then the
was
gunshot woke them up, woke her up and her mom, and he was still asleep. That's what she said.
it was either Facebook, her
Yeah.
Facebook, or someone else. Somebody said, "Hey, why don't you tell them how they knew exactly what room the Americano was in?"
well,
Because the house is just not what people think. It's like one open space of a.
Right.
They specifically came in, which we've seen the house. It's not
he
exactly
vlogs
secure.
enough. I mean,
Right, but I mean, as much as I've watched his stuff, I wouldn't know where to go directly in and find him. Somebody directed and pointed out
no, yeah, it's
how they
possible, yes,
knew
very possible,
exactly
yes.
immediately, like which
Yeah.
room.
But like I said, they were already asleep and they kick in the door. That's what she says in this interview.
Pumasok sila agad doon. Nagulat man kami bakit anong nangyari. Lumabas
And she says, we were shocked what happened.
kami. Tapos tinutukan na kami ng baril.
Oh, okay, so they kicked in the not the bedroom door. They kicked in the front door, and then they went outside. I assume they went outside the room, and then when we went outside the room, they pointed their guns at us. That's what she said. Well, sorry, correction. They pointed their gun at us. It's singular. Tinutukan kami ng baril, which means they pointed a gun at us.
Ang mga suspect nagpakilala raw ng mga pulis.
Sabi nila,
Says the suspects are well known by the police.
ito, nagbebenta to ng shabu. Tapos
These guys sell illicit drugs.
Well, all right. So she said that the guys that were there,
The
she
cops.
knew them.
No, not her. The cops told her that these guys are dealers.
Is that a reference to him as
No,
the
no, no.
blogger?
No. To
Who's
the guys who kicked in the door. The cops told her the guys that took him
Oh,
are
okay.
dealers.
So I got that. So okay. So yes, these guys are
Which-
known dealers.
Right, which again, this actually shifts the story to a more different light. We'll get into that after this.
Which there's been insinuations. Like what I'm trying to figure out is some of the 6 suspects that they've got arrested or something. They said that one of them is up for a murder charge, attempted murder or murder, and the other one, yes, is some sort of dealer. Which makes you think, how come they were on the outside of the bars if the one is being charged with? It's kind of. That's what they said about the suspects they had. So anyway,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah.
Tapos yung nanay ko, hinawakan siya. Sabi niya, sir, ano po ang kasalanan ng anak ko?
Okay. So her words are, when they came inside, my mom held him. Well, she didn't state who she held, if she held Eastman or the cop. She just said, my
Probably
mom
talking
held him
about
and said,
Eastman.
sir, what did he do? Because again, remember, there's some reports, some reports state that these guys were in uniform, but again, that's
And then many of the others said they were just in black clothes. So I only read 1 or 2 articles that actually I read 1, not 2, that actually stated they were in a police uniform. But remember, that could have just been
right.
Nagsalita na sila, saan yung American? Siya yung nagdadala dito ng shabu.
Okay. Now they said these guys said, where's the American? He's the dealer. So it's, again, this is those guys' words against Eastman. And he said, where's the American? He's the dealer.
interesting.
Right.
Indog nila ako bihayan, diyan nila ako mondon. Halawang, sinbilikan. Sintok na di magtuoy, inugangan ko. Ibang pagyan ko, ayaw! O sinugangan ko nakagwa, nagtimbak pa.
Okay. Now, the mom says, okay, she
Hey,
says,
Sarah, Pablo, Scott.
at this point, they grabbed Eastman, dragged him, and then Eastman says, no. I guess when he said no, he probably went like this because that's the reflex most guys do.
Well, he's been
So he
preparing
probably
for
said
this.
no, and then he ran. And when he ran, that's when they shot him. And then he fell. Once he fell, they ran up to him, grabbed him, dragged him to the boat, and left. These are the mom's words. Okay. Now, when he ran,
Right now.
he's probably still inside the house. Again, remember, they kick in the front door. They went to the bedroom, and that's where the real confrontation occurred. And
They
that's
kicked the
where
door in? They said,
the front door. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Who is it?
Taupo.
Taupo.
So
Who is
yeah,
it?
so they get kicked in the front door. They
Dave.
went to the bedroom,
Dave's
and
not
then
here.
that's where the confrontation happened. And that's where Eastman kind of avoided them. I guess he broke free, and that's where he ran. And then that's when they shot him, and that's when he dropped, grabbed him, and dragged him to the boat. Okay.
You stop being so stubborn. Anyways,
All right.
real quick, guys, I want to let you know, for those that there are more people in the room right now. The reason we're translating is, one, a lot of people that have been interested in the story said, hey, how come nobody's speaking on either side? And we did, this story did come out. We knew it was coming out. We mentioned it in our previous live stream that we had the photos that she had made a statement. We knew there was a video coming. And also to translate it for people. And also we have a different opinion on possibly what's going on. And a big shout out to Bruce and Judith, and congratulations on your
Congratulations.
marriage. And thank you guys for being members. And if you're not subscribed, to subscribe. It's really, really important. Yeah, so
That's Filipino saying, welcome to my channel, subscribe.
subscribe.
All right.
Shameless plug. But Yeah, because Pablo just says he doesn't believe he's around anymore, and the opinion is getting stronger. But here's the thing, let me add something in, and you guys are going to hate me, and I guess here comes my opinion. It's not as much as an opinion as I'm a speculator. I'm just like a spectator, spectacular specular. Anyways, do you think there's any truth to the hearsay that he could be involved in the trade? He drank a lot of energy drinks. It showed him with 2 Red Bulls at the airport. I mean, maybe he's on that, and that's the biggest thing sold here.
Cops can't find the body because they don't remember where they hit him. I'm joking. That's
No,
a joke. That's a joke.
Right, but this just a side speculation of what we've been reading too. We haven't mentioned that up to now, but now the people they've arrested are in the game. They said either one, it was tied to her ex, or it was tied to a situation they're not wanting to talk about. And if it is that dark undertrade that really is heavy in that area, Islamic area or not, it's where the money is made. Do you think he did always seem to be wound up?
I don't think he's wound up because of any. Okay, my opinion. This is opinion right
Probably
now.
just all caffeine.
Well, no. People who kind of behave that way, they behave that way because
Hey,
of their mental
490. Hey,
faculties, if
Victoria.
you know what I mean. I mean, I'm
Anyway,
not,
say Sarah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not picking at the guy, but I'm just saying, certain people, I've known a lot of people that behave
Tito
a certain
George.
way. They could be straight, never touched a drink, never in their life, never did any illegal stuff, but they're twitchy and they do weird stuff.
Well,
I think it's just him.
Well, they did. Well, remember this, since this started, and it's been a couple weeks, October 17th, American Elliot Eastman disappeared from Zamboanga del Norte in Cebuco. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people said he was touched, or he seemed to be autistic, or something was really off about the dude and the way he acted, gyrated, jumped around, laid there like a zombie. There is some things that were off. And now it's been said in the papers and other places with this going on. So it just kind of adds another layer of mystery.
Right. And again, there's nothing wrong with, I mean, I kind of keyword leaning to this side of maybe he's a high functioning autistic person, which means he acts pretty much
Showed he went to
normal.
college, yeah.
Yeah, he can pretty much act normal, but there are some certain telltale
Well, he's the
signs.
one that said that he did a lot of the building and hooking up of the Starlink and connections of wire. And, so in other words, he seems to be a very high function.
No.
But this story coming directly from the wife is just bringing another layer.
Right, and again, the fact that the police are releasing that people that grabbed him
Here.
are criminals. I'm again, this is opinion. I'm leaning more towards the part where they grabbed him and then injured him, and unfortunately they probably did a
Lovesick.
fatal injury, and they're like, dang it, now we can't ask for a ransom.
There's a lot at this point. The fact that we said the last time that they have all these people, and I talked about tactics to apply, which I guess Google didn't like that one. That it would lean more in that the higher that last time I called it ransom amount, but the higher the reward goes and the people aren't talking,
Well,
that's
actually,
not
a cop
good.
said something about that.
Okay,
But
and here's the other thing. There's been one question that I've received over and over again in the last 12 hours. And the question of the last 12 hours is, do you think he voted?
too soon. Too soon.
You think he voted for Trump?
No, that's probably why he got shot. Yeah.
That I'm gonna
That's
vote.
a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke.
I'm voting.
Not directed at any particular.
He was probably there on the
politician.
boat, and he's probably sitting there bouncing around in the water, and they said, "Hey kid, are you gonna vote?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Kamala," and they kicked him out of the boat.
Right. All right. So again, I pray and I hope that
man.
he's okay. Okay. Honestly, I really.
No, we've been saying that. You
Okay.
guys just know our channel, it's but honestly at this point with all the factors and everything going on, it is not looking good. I hope he comes back. I really do. But for those that can translate or watch the video, it is GMA that put it out. And I will put a link here in a little bit to it. Like I said, right up to this last minute, me and George are arguing with each other. We were trying to put together the footage, and we were trying to determine how to do it. But it's very haunting to hear some of the stuff his wife said, and it's kind of, I don't know. In my opinion, I think they already know. I think they
No.
know.
They
There's
already
no
know.
doubt
They
in our
already know.
mind
They already
with
know.
them releasing this.
That's-
This is not the Jerry Springer of the Philippines, but let me tell you what, she covers things like
No, they already know.
like Inside Edition. So why is a channel like that that's popular, and she does everything from ghost stories to the weirdest stories to, you know, the things that happen here. She gets like down to the nitty-gritty. But to me, the fact that they're giving facts out now in front of everybody, they're not trying to hide this anymore. He's just simply gone. So okay, so let's get
Right.
get into it, guys. Yeah, I was wondering if he voted by mail.
Yeah.
Say, do you mind taking this the next time you pass by in that boat?
Oh, and just real quick, the AA. So is she black or Indian? Blanjan, India? No, it's actually, I did not come up with this term. Again, I did not
Blasian?
come- Blackanese.
Who? Who's Blackanese?
I think they're talking about the other.
Kamala? They're talking about Kamala,
I
but she's
don't
not
know.
Japanese.
She's asking the thing, the black or Indian, Blanjan, India. Again, it's because again, it's
Well,
if it's Asian. If
we
it's
will
Asian,
save
then
the
that's
political
term
talk.
I did not come
babe,
up with.
Babe, I
Yeah.
have this has
No,
got
I
to
got
be
you. I got
now. The front has to be cut off to begin
Okay,
with,
okay,
and yeah.
Panganal ko matabang ko inugangan ko. Yapas ko siya. Uy, kuya, butan inugangan ko.
Okay, now that's the mom. She says.
And this it's the mom. You sure that was the mom crying? That sounds like her.
No,
She
no,
was
that's the
crying.
mom. That's the mom because she's speaking Cebuano.
Okay.
Now
This is the wife in the photo.
she says, if anybody has any information, please let us know. Please, I hope he's okay.
Ang sugatang si Elliot, isinakay daw sa bangka.
Hindi ko na talaga
The injured Elliot, they brought him into the boat.
I want to let you guys know real quick. I knew there were other houses around, but they did a total drone shot. Okay, like to the front of the beach. There's tons of houses there. So there's even more questions now than there are answers to the situation going on. In other words, they said they shot a gun in the beginning, and I was asking you, with that many houses, and they're not all family members, there's got to be probably 30, 40 houses there. Why nobody else was? They're saying that the people telling the story was the family telling the story. Why isn't any of the neighbors
Well, first
talking?
off, the answer is everything happened inside the house. It's not what they said that he was running down the beach and then that's where he, got shot. No. When he ran from the bedroom, well, again, I'm just telling you what the wife said. According to the wife, when he ran from the bedroom towards the front door, that's when they shot him. He fell, and that's why there's,
Where was he going?
just run.
I guess.
You got into run, fight or flight. She went to flight mode.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, I guess, yeah, fight or flight, because I couldn't leave my family behind. I would die. Well, you don't know that they weren't going to turn on the family. Was he guilty of something? Because remember, she did make that statement. Remember, she made a statement that my husband's not guilty of anything. But the fact that he was, I get it, but what about you guys? I mean, if your family and wife and everybody was in the house, they're either going to take you or not.
Again,
Maybe
there's only
I don't know.
three responses. It doesn't matter whether you've done something wrong. No, it doesn't matter if you've done something wrong, innocent or neutral. There's always only three responses.
And I don't know where he thought
And
he was
it
going to
doesn't matter
run.
what situation it is. A person always will either, again, run, freeze, or,
That's true. I've done it
right,
different
confront.
ways, yeah.
So I'm a confrontational guy when it comes to bad situations. I won't run away from it.
He was
But
warned
he's,
much longer than
yeah.
3 weeks. He's been saying, as a matter of fact, in the previous video we played, we might play some of it again. He actually said that when his sorry store got robbed and everything, and he was talking about money was taken out of the store, he was talking smack about the sister. This last video kind of will go against what she says in this footage is, and this was on live video, that he said, what, somebody's just going to come in and take me in the night. You guys won't let me go 10 meters up the beach and I'm not allowed to go here, and there, but yet someone's going to come up here and take me in the night. And he said that 17 days before he disappeared, guys. So,
Okay.
Talaga masyadong nakita kasi yung mga armadong lalaki, sinira nila yung ilaw namin dyan sa labas.
She says she couldn't see anything outside because the armed men destroyed our light outside. And that's, like I said, my theory is that's where the first gunshots from.
Sa mga nagdaang taon, peaceful po ng munisipyo ng Sibuko. Nang nagkaroon ng abduction po dito, yung mga civilian dito, maaga pa, wala nang lumalabas. Doon sa...
Okay. It says when this abduction that happened in Cebuco happened really early.
yeah, there was some guy standing outside during this talking. This was just another random person.
I think this is the cop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see a cop. I only seen one female cop talk the whole time.
Okay.
lugar mismo na napangyarihan ng abduction po, may mga tanod akong nakapost doon. Pero
Okay. Usually when abductions happen, there's usually a guard posted in these locations.
natatakot siguro kasi may mga putukan na nangyayari. Back here.
Now he's responding why there's, again, this is an answer to what Heidi's question is, how come with all this commotion the only witnesses are the family? Again, most of it happened apparently inside the house. Two, the cop actually says when they heard the gunshots, these people are scared to go outside and look. That's what he said. Now,
Okay, so that'll explain why nobody on the area came out.
correct. Which again, you know,
Yeah, but remember what you told me, and I'll always remember it, gun or not. It's still mob mentality. I mean, that's a whole bunch of houses.
right. But if
It
you
was
see,
a couple guys.
but if you see a guy outside, if you look outside and you see a guy outside or more, then you'd probably go outside. I'm answering your question now, mob mentality.
Yeah.
To have a bunch of people gather up, somebody has to start it. They probably looked outside, didn't see anything, like, oh, I am going out. Again, I'm just translating what the cop says. I'm just translating.
At the home.
Taga Vermont sa Amerika, ang 26 anyos na si Elliot
Yeah, she's saying that Elliot Eastman is from Vermont.
O'Neill Eastman. Ayon sa kwento niya kay Carisha, nagtrabaho siya noon bilang delivery rider.
Now, yeah, according to, you can tell Jessica So is Filipino because she
Right.
says,
This guy. So it was just a random guy that was talking.
oh, well, okay. So he says,
So it's just a guy.
now, okay, so hold on, I have to go back.
Sorry.
Okay, like I said, just shows Jessica So is Filipino because the wording she uses is a Filipino term. She says when Eastman met his wife, he told her that he was a delivery rider. You know, that's a Filipino term for delivery drivers. I mean, obviously they use driver in the US. Here they call them riders because most of the time they drive, you know, scooters to deliver the food, so they call them riders.
Taong 2023 nung pumunta ito sa Pilipinas para magbakasyon at para makipagkita sa nauna niyang nakarelasyon.
Okay, in 2023, he flew to the Philippines to have a vacation, to meet up with the first Filipina he had a relationship with.
Yes, we said he met her through Facebook and came over. And what year was that?
2023. That's what they said.
Okay.
That's what they said.
Yeah. Yeah, because by November, they were allegedly married, November 8th.
Na nakatira sa Zamboanga City.
Okay, so he was living in Zamboanga City. So he's in safer part.
Pero dahil naging komplikado raw ang relasyon na yun ni Elliot, kalaunan, umuwi siya ng Amerika.
But due to complications in his relationship, he went back to the US.
Kakilala yan kami dahil sa isang tao po na dinala siya doon sa bukid namin.
I met Elliot because somebody brought him over to where we're at, to the she says fields. It's probably a rice field, my guess. They brought him over to the fields or the farm, as it were, and that's how I met him.
Nag-chat ako, sabi ko gusto lang namin malaman kung nakauwi na kayo ng maayos. Sagot
So this is when he flew back. Okay, she says, you know, I hope you're okay. I hope your trip was fine. And then when she checked her phone again, according to her, there's a lot of chat messages already.
Yeah, it's when they start talking, yeah.
niya po, nandito na po ako sa bahay namin.
I'm safe and sound. I'm here at our house now. That's what Elliot says when he arrived to the US. Remember, this is in the past, 2023.
You sa pag-ask. Next morning, nakita ko na may chat na siya sa akin. Madami-dami na yung chat niya. Tapos nagsabi na ako sa kanya, ikaw may jowa ka.
Okay. So when she saw all these chat messages, she told him, you know you have a girlfriend, right? So that's what she confronted him. Says, you know you have a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
At ayoko po magalit yung jowa niyo sa akin. Ang sabi
And I don't want your girlfriend to get mad at me.
niya po sa akin, huwag kang mag-alala kasi sinabihan ko na siya.
Don't worry about that. That's what Eastman told her. Don't worry about that. I already talked to her.
Ayoko pong makipag-away sa ibang tao dahil lang sa isang lalaki.
Now she's basically defending herself. She says, I didn't want to have a fight with somebody else due to a man. That's what she said.
Ang madalas nilang pagchat-chat ni Carisha naging daan para sila'y nagkamabutihan.
Sinanong niya ako kung pwede daw yung mag-live-in. Ang sabi ko,
Okay, this is where I kind of question things. Okay, so Jessica So says, due to their chatting, this is when they got into a relationship. Okay, and this is what I thought was odd. Eastman asked her, keyword, he asked her, can we live in together?
Yeah, if you have a home wedding.
sa rules po ng Muslim, hindi pwede ang mag-live-in. Dapat pakasalan muna. Nagtanong siya sa akin.
So she says, according to Islam, you can't have a live-in relationship. You have to be married. Well, technically,
It's true.
well, I mean, that's the same with Catholics and Christians. That's what I'm kind of like, well, that's for most religions.
Yeah, because I've seen something just on the side note. I want to let you know, and looking at his flight footage and shorts he had on TikTok, Facebook, and everything, when I counted the weeks, it went back like 52 weeks and something else. It shows 2 different times where he was at airports or something, and it would have been sometime in March and May. So, so that was this year and last year or something. He's been doing he's been back to the U.S. I think at least twice, but this time, yes, I think he's been here this time for the last 5 or 6 months. So,
Anyway,
baby, hi, Kitty. Yeah.
Magkano yung Dory sa Muslim? Tapos ang
So he's asking, how much is the, I forgot the word. I'm having a brain fart here.
Tingling, tingling,
No,
dingling.
I'm having a brain fart. Dowry.
Oh, 50,000 pesos.
Dowry.
He said
How
for the
much
wedding
is
is
the
what
dowry?
he needed.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Because I know it sounds like she says Dory. No, she meant dowry. Dowry. Yeah.
I don't know. Lou said she looks 30 years old. I'm sorry. Somebody recently came in and said she was 29 years old and she had been working in Saudi Arabia. That
Wrong
girl
person.
is not
Wrong
29
person.
years old. She is
Wrong
not
person.
29. I mean, then something else is off because she went from her school uniform. She has 5 or 6 Facebook accounts,
Yeah.
and the next one was her wedding one, and they've been married. As a
High
matter
school
of fact,
uniform,
in 2
yeah.
days, according to their home wedding and what they posted from these photos, it's been almost a year.
Yeah, and it's high school uniform, not even college uniform.
Right. So and her birthday cake was either 51, 15, or 18. It was really weird. It was either, if it was in Arabic letters, it appeared to be, what did we say it was in Arabic? It looked to be 15. I said, no, I don't think she's 15. But the girl is not 29.
No,
I don't know. It's funny you said that because somebody else said
actually,
she's.
the reason why also she's not that old, because one of the reasons why they didn't leave is because she couldn't get a passport yet.
Which didn't really have anything to do with her age, but also I think they were only married at home, but we don't know that.
If she worked in
100%.
Saudi Arabia, she would have had.
Oh, yeah. So I
right,
guess, yeah,
anyway,
see,
yeah.
yeah, a lot of different things out there,
Yeah,
guys.
so that's what I'm saying. But anyway, again, no, she's not 30 years old. She didn't work in Saudi. Again, she doesn't have a passport.
And it wouldn't match. Yeah, it just wouldn't match a lot of things that are.
Sir, hindi ako makasagot niyan. Kung gusto mo mag-usap sa magulang ko, pwede naman.
I can't answer that question. She's talking about the dowry, because you need to talk to my parents. If you wanna talk about the dowry, you need to talk to my parents. That's what she said.
Unan, bumalik ng Cebu ko si Elliot at June 23, ikinasal sila ni Carisha.
So she said June 23, he came back and married Carisha.
Okay, so then why did they mark their wedding day as November of 2023? So then June would have been, so it's still been more than a year that they've been, because it's 2024. So yeah, so that 15-month mark that we talked about exists. So then maybe the full ceremony was the one in November. Maybe they did the home ceremony, because in our previous live stream we showed where they got married in the house and they said they were married. Maybe, not even joking, maybe that was for the nookie, and so they could stay in the same room together, which is true for Islamic. And then maybe their real wedding, and they filed with the courts.
Well,
in that
the
date.
thing is,
Because
again,
maybe they really are at this point.
what I found odd, again, I'm not picking on the guy,
Is that they said that he came back for her graduation?
No, it's not that. He said, "Can I live in with you?" Not, "Can you live in with me?"
Well, it also was said in the newspapers that he said he returned for his wife's graduation.
Yeah, because usually
That'd have been an old college student at 29.
Usually, the girl is the one that moves in with the guy. I mean, that's most cultures anyway. But here in the Philippines, especially that, you know what I'm saying? Usually.
Well, he's been caught in his lives where he was not caught, but talking, because he was always saying things. Maybe it's a fact that he said that things are really inexpensive and I can run this business and make a little bit of money. So he was looking forward to be a cheap passport bro.
If it's really inexpensive, they would have their own place.
He said $50. Well, they did. There was a place. If you guys watch their Facebook Lives, he did say they were living somewhere else. He just moved over there. They were living somewhere else. That's what she said. He goes, do Do you like this place
No,
that
I
we're living
remember
in
that.
now?
I remember
And then he
that,
went on
but-
to say something. So there's a lot. Okay, let's
Yeah.
and then we can go through the ages
Maayos
are
na-
irrelevant, huh? That is. Oh, right here. Oh, okay, I see. He said scientific fact: women do not mature until they're 26. Too many cradle robbers. He's probably talking to the other one.
naman daw ang kanilang pagsasama. Ang kanilang araw-araw na pamumuhay sa probinsya, nakadokumento sa kamera.
All they did in the province, their lives, it's all documented on their lives. On
Okay. David says here in recent chats, he said that she said she was 29, but she was just joking, and then she said she was 18.
Food with a street kid. I found this person on the street. I picked her up, brought her home.
Oh, that was just him talking, by the way, on the side.
Happy relationship po kami. Maalaga din siya. Kung may problema, magtanong din siya para malinawan yung lahat. Ayaw niya kasi yung parang mag-away-away.
So they said they lived a happy life together, and every time that they have something they need to talk about, he always asks questions, and that way they can clear things up.
Okay, I want to let you know. Did you already make the statement that they had a happy marriage and happy life?
That's it.
Okay, I want to let you guys know that we just played that last live stream. We might play part of it again. That it did not appear that way. Remember, it's for the camera. Some of the stuff is coming out. She's telling her actual story, but in the live streams, they do have disagreements. At one point, he said he really wanted to go home. They were having a disagreement where he said things about her sister. And so we also have clips where she apologized for their fights on Facebook. She goes, I'm sorry that we've been fighting. And also there was another one. So in other words, things weren't as hunky-dory as she's actually saying. So there is some family tension going on over money. I think they're splitting the Sorry store. There's a lot of different things. So
Yeah, you never split a sorry. So if you have to split
problems with the sister.
yeah, if you have to split
all kinds of things.
expenses to run a sorry store, you probably should not be running a sorry store. Just saying.
Check out my store, you guys. It's my business. See, it's pretty nice. And then the Wi-Fi and the solar, I think I spent a total like 130K or something.
Bukod sa kita sa pagva-vlog, si Elliot nakapagtayo ng sari-sari store.
Okay, now
I'm
keep
gonna
in mind he's not monetized.
I want to let you know they said he was a big vlogger and they said he was a big baller. He was running the biggest, flashiest, sparkliest Sorry store on that corner of the beach.
Well, this is what other people say, not on this video. Okay. But if he, if there are people that are holding him against his will, keep in mind, if they see, hear, watch these, they'll be like, oh, I told you he has money. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a bad thing. But in this particular video, Jessica Soho's exact words, aside from the money he makes from YouTube, keep in mind he's not monetized.
No, another channel said he was a big monetized vlogger.
Right. But even Jessica Soho said, aside from the money he makes from YouTube. Again, I'm not, dissing the guy, but the fact is, again, he's not monetized. And then he makes also money from his Sorry store.
Ooh. and me without my piggy bank.
And I'd hate to say this, he's probably what they call colorum. Well, it's not probably. I know for a fact he's colorum. Colorum means you're running without a license.
Yeah, he was living with his parents. As a matter of fact, in that video, 17 days before he disappeared, he said he wanted to go live back with his grandparents. So he wanted to leave 17 days before he was taken. Clearly from his mouth, this isn't even made up. She's saying everything is fine. Several places she made statements they were fighting. And he had a problem with their sister. He said things were crazy. You guys have no idea. So 17 days before he disappeared, a lot of stuff happens. Now, here's the thing. Me and George fight all the time. We said that. So if all of a sudden I fell down the stairs and something happened and they were talking to George, that's the same thing he's going to probably say too, is, hey, we get along and all this. And then it's going to be Sarah or Mike or somebody that's going to point out and say, hey, no, they fight all the time on air. And then they're going to be looking for you, George.
Yeah.
We talked about that before. So I get the scenarios that it's probably the same, but it's, yeah.
Pandagdag sa kanilang income na mag-asawa.
I can't make as much money here as I can in the US, but it's, it's just for fun. I get to stay here with my wife. It's not really always about the money.
Ito po, sir, yung
This
pinagawa
is
ng
just the town, guys.
Okay.
asawa ko na tindahan.
Pero dahil ba
Is that where they were showing their wedding rings and everything and saying we're married?
No.
Okay. Remember, the photos kind of ain't going to match because we're not running the video, but this is the audio from the interview. So we can translate for you guys, and most cannot translate. There's a few that can, but it'll be hard because it's in different, it's just not, straight Tagalog, is it? Or is some
No,
of it
no.
is?
Only her mom speaks Cebuano.
And then,
Yeah. Well, she probably speaks Cebuano, but obviously Jessica So's show is in Tagalog, so.
right, but yeah.
Nyaga o foreigner ang kanyang nakatuluyan, si Carisha hindi raw nakaligtas sa makakating dila.
Okay, so that's the guy that was talking earlier. It's
Yeah, he's the barangay captain.
Okay, well, he's not the cop.
Well, they're called barangay police.
Yeah.
That's why he's a captain. Again, I did not create the hierarchy. I'm just telling you, he's the barangay captain and they're called barangay police.
I mean, you guys are just a bunch of little kids.
I'm just
It's
saying.
like playground with you guys.
I'm just saying, again, I didn't create the Philippines. So anyway, I'm just letting you know. They're called barangay police. That's why he's a barangay captain. Anyway.
Right. Okay, so so what was said, or did you? Yeah, just go ahead. Don't try to take it back because you'll go back too far.
Well, it's inconsequential anyway.
Okay. Hey, chosen one.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah. Actually, there's more that she has to add.
Nabasa ko, sabi nila, ay, ang pangit-pangit ng asawa, ang gwapo ng Amerikano, bakit nagkagusto sa kanya? Sabi lang,
So they're saying that this is against her. Man, he has an ugly wife. That's, again, I'm just translating. She's saying that other people are saying, man, he has an ugly wife. Look at him. He's handsome. He's an American. Yeah, that's what they're saying behind her back, I guess.
sa akin ng asawa ko, huwag kang mag-overthink. Kung ano ikaw, yung nagustuhan ko.
Well, which is the wrong answer. So Elliot says, don't overthink it. I like you for you, and that's what's important. Which
That's their sorry store
Yeah.
sign, by the way. So I guess they did cut things off
Yeah.
at 7:00.
now the reason why I'm against what Elliot Eastman says, don't overthink it. I like you for you. That kind of saying that Eastman is agreeing with what they said. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say, no, that's not true, honey. You're beautiful. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Again, I'm just translating, guys.
Kahit foreigner siya, hindi po pera ang habol ko sa kanya.
Okay, this is where she says, and this is what Jessica So was trying to lean in, the one I didn't translate, is, again, I knew they were going to come back to this. She says, I didn't marry him for the money.
I don't know.
Yeah. I know Chosen One says, actually, Joyce Chosen One said
Man, maybe.
it's all about the money. Oh, it's all about the money. Show me the. Yeah, no, she says that it's not about the money. That's what she said.
Ilang araw bago ang nangyaring pagkidnap kay Elliot, sa kanyang vlog, parang may pahiwatig na raw ito tungkol sa kanyang seguridad.
Never. That was just him back home.
Yeah. Now, he says just a few days before he was taken, he was concerned about his safety.
A few days? He's been squawking like a parrot for months. Squawk! They got it!
Yeah.
I was going to name one of the stories Little Boy Parrot Blue on some
Right.
that shit. What? They're going to come down through that crack and they're going to
When he started vlogging,
take
yes,
me in the
he
night.
voiced out his
Almost,
concerns.
yeah, for a while.
I mean,
So he's, I mean, I have to, I always say I got to add something to it, but I told George he's been squawking that for, it almost reminds me of the boy who cried wolf, because it'd be like, hey, that wolf's out there is going to get me. And then eventually, what happened? What did that wolf?
But in Jessica Soa's defense,
It's
keep
like a
in
mix
mind,
of Little Red Riding
she's still
Hood.
correct. It's still right a few days before it happened. He did still,
I guess
yeah.
technically it was.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, it's
Actually,
still
yeah,
accurate,
probably within
yeah.
about 48 hours, I
Yeah,
guess.
he still did say that he was going to get taken, yes.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to squawk like a bird.
Yeah. What are you talking about? A few days before. He's been doing this since he got here. Yeah. Touching the Philippines. I can get it.
And there's been so
Yeah.
many different
No.
things. Like I've heard, so many different things, like his career and everything. He really is a food driver, because in that 17-day video that we just played last live, he said, well, I guess I'll just go home and work. And he pretty much said, in a nutshell, he's like, what, do you think money grows on trees or something? He goes, I had to deliver a lot of little food bags for that. He started complaining about all the money he had spent. And then he went into saying how, not the clip that I edited, by the way. I left a link in the previous live stream to guys that you can go watch. It's 4 hours. I doubt any of you sit through the entire thing. It's hard to watch because a lot of it's dead air or where they're just leaving a camera running. But in that's the one where he complained about how they set the store up in the area. It's how he went on about how much money he has spent, how he missed his grandparents, how he was ready to go back. He was giving advice on living between $50 for 2 weeks to $100 living here. And it just went on and on and on. But he talked about how many food packs he had to, whatever. He goes, well, I guess if anything else, he goes, I'll just go and, go back to America, and then I guess I'll work. And
Now,
so much going on, guys.
to be fair to his family, Eastman was worried about that big giant gap on the ceiling,
He did say that.
but they didn't use the ceiling. They just went through the front door. So
I was just picturing everybody standing on the beach. It's like, oh, it's loudmouth Heidi. I'll just let her go. And they shut the door. Just-
they opened the door and oh, never mind.
it's just Heidi.
Good night.
Say, yay, they're taking Heidi away. Yay.
Take her, please. Nah, it's all right, man. We're good.
But once again, for the people in the room, George, how would you find the people? How would you find the people that kidnapped me?
What do you mean? I'd be like offering him. Would you like some coffee?
No, you wouldn't.
Está ng kape?
You said,
Magkape tayo. Let's have a coffee first before you take her, okay?
no, you said, look for the guys.
Oh, if or when they take Heidi away from me, aka they take her away for ransom, it's easy to find the guys who took Heidi away, because I would tell the officers, don't worry. It's easy to find these 4 individuals, because just look for the guys with the broken backs.
4 of them. Oh my God. I mean, kind of joke, because we said that we were like, I think Tim K said something about he was too big to kidnap. And it is true. They kind of broke it down. It's true. They probably wouldn't take us bigger people. One, it's more food. Two, not that they would feed us anymore, but it would just be more of a problem to try to restrain and everything. And then George made a joke like a couple live streams back, and he said, yeah, just look for the guys with 4 broken backs. Kind of like when there's a crime, they'll say, look for this and that at the hospital. and go to the hospitals. George said, "There they are, the guys with the broken backs."
That's them.
That's them. Grab them.
All right.
All right, guys.
And staying in this area for so long to the point where people, I don't even know if people like me anymore. Maybe they want bad things to happen to me now. People coming here to tell my family that there's people that want to kidnap me or they're threatening to kidnap me.
Hindi po kami nagsabi sa kanya na may kukuha sa'yo. Mag-advise lang na huwag siya masyadong maglakad mag-isa kasi mahilig man yun siyang maglakad-lakad saan-saan.
Okay, so they said, we've always warned him not to go alone, never walk around by himself because they might take him away. He likes to go out and walk by himself.
Okay. And I want to add to that, he has said on numerous occasions in his live streams, Facebook, and other places that he felt the family was holding him from going anywhere. And he also stated that, like it showed him in a live stream leaning in the door saying he wanted to go. And she said, no, you have to have somebody go with you. And he's like, why? So they had some sort of tension about him being able to go where he wanted, when he wanted. And here's the thing. The police warned him about living down there. The U.S. Embassy and other people warned him about being there. There's all kinds of warnings. Any place you go that talks about the Philippines. And at the end of these clips, we have some additional photos that'll show the UK Embassy. As a matter of fact, I now know from looking today, insurance companies will not insure you if they find out you're in this region. Last time, some people had some questions about kidnapping insurance and insurance. Not in this area. Not living in that area. They
Most
just
red
won't.
zones are kind of a no-go zone when it comes to insurance companies. So
Yeah. So there's just warning after warning after warning. But here's the thing. I just don't get why he makes this statement. And more than once he squawked about they don't like me here. Why he came back at least 2 or 3 times. At least 2 times. Like he left when he first went to go see the girl and he knew something about her. And then he left. It looks like they started talking, and he came back at least 2 times after that for her alleged graduation, dowry, making more money, and then came back this last time, which is probably the 5 months they've talked about he's been here permanently. But I don't get why, especially the complaints that came out 17 days before. He'd been complaining, but in that video, he really went on about how things were really, really off. So, yeah, like everything. He's like, things are just a mess here. And he started complaining about the roof leaking and the internet getting wet. And he said the water, high tide, was coming up to the actual store. He just went on. Scorpions in the house and crabs. And he just went on and on and on.
well,
and on.
there's some really weird stuff. I mean, when he said, I'm worried about the routers are gonna get, wet over here, I'm like, well, then you should have moved it, and you could still move it.
And why is it on the ground? I was wondering about that. And
You can move it up, it's got actually holes in the back to hang it, But anyway,
I would not have went back twice living in that area the way he was and the things that he showed. I'd have left you out there for the crabs to eat you, man. I said, yep, Georgia's got crabs. I gotta go. I would not have been sitting in my AC and I'm like, see ya.
oh, I should grab my bib. Anyway.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah, when you do your live in 6 weeks.
Right.
I don't really know, what would happen. Somebody did try to come here and kidnap me, right? Would the neighbors help me, or would they just sit there and watch? Even last night, I'm scared a little.
Hanggang sa nangyari na nga
There it is.
Well, he got his answer there.
Yeah.
Sit there and watch.
Yeah, but once again, isn't that a strange statement? That's the first time I heard that statement with the neighbors. Yeah, nobody. Chirp, chirp. Think about that. Now here goes these statements that he keeps making. In the video we showed, he said, they're going to come in and take me in the night, was his exact words. I'm going to be kidnapped. People hate me here. I'm going to be kidnapped. And he just said it. What was those words he just said? Wonder if the neighbors would do anything. I guess not.
Yeah.
And if these are known dealers, okay, and it's possibly, that's another reason they may not have come out, because they knew those 4 people are, oh boy. Uh-oh.
No,
Wait a minute. That's not good, because usually behind every person of that, has backup interest and backup interest, which followed by corruption.
Well,
So that's why nobody would have came out.
just real quick, guys. Again, I'm not gonna go as deep as being taken, but pay attention to your neighborhood. Pay attention to the neighbors' behavior. For example, in our old
No,
neighborhood, if anything,
Well, he
were
can't do nothing
Well,
about
well,
that.
well,
It was a
well.
family
no,
home.
no. I'm saying if something happened to Heidi in the other neighborhood, the whole neighborhood would gang up together and help us out.
I doubt it.
No. We know there's people there that will.
Well,
do
yeah,
something.
but in a
They
case
will- they
like
will bring in
that,
the
if it was a
jeepney,
dealer, I
They'll
know.
take you. They'll pop you in because this was before we had a car. They would.
No,
you
I know.
Yeah, they would load you up in the jeepney, take you to the hospital.
Well,
know.
yeah, or
neighbors
like
would
our
do that.
neighbor now. Yeah,
No,
she come and
well,
help me.
here, yeah, there's only one you can count on right now. I'm just saying, no, really. I mean, behavior of neighbors, pay attention.
Right, but you can't. Definitely in a time like this, what I'm saying is, I would like to give some examples of people I mean, if
Well,
it'd be
you
like
can-
Al Capone showing up on the beach with 4 people. I'm not saying it's that
No, I
extreme.
know
I'm
that,
just
but
giving
you can
an
gauge.
example people would know.
You can
Yeah,
gauge
if
the
those 4
community.
people showed up on the beach, you'd be kind of like, yeah, nope, and then the door would get shut because you're
Well,
wondering why.
That's
with
another thing.
everybody-
When you said mob mentality, in order for a mob mentality to happen, they have to have some form of community. I don't think they have a real community.
I don't know, babe. There's a whole slew of houses side by
that's what I
side. It
said.
is an Islamic. That most of them are Islamic
Well, that
there.
doesn't mean that they're Islamic, that they follow Islam. It could be just,
Yeah, there's
But-
so much going on,
But what I'm
guys.
saying is, for example, my uncle, he's moving to a different house right now because his lease is up. When he's moving into his new location, he even said, I know if something ever happens to me, my neighbors would come over and help me out. That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that I didn't realize there were that many houses. I really thought because she said her brother lived there nearby, and he said since your sister came down from the cuckoo from the mountain, he said
He did
there's
say
been
that.
problems.
He did say
Well,
that.
George says that all the time. He just said a cuckoo,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's some. Let's get through this. We're sidetracking. Yeah.
Ang kanilang kinatatakutan.
Wala po akong alam kung may galit man sa amin or may inggit. Yung asawa ko, friendly talaga siya.
Yeah, that's when she says, I don't know anybody who's angry at us or jealous of us, and my husband's really friendly.
Wala po kaming pinag-awayan.
Kaya
We don't fight, and we didn't have any fights with anybody else.
wala raw silang ideya
Okay.
kung ano talaga ang dahilan ng pagdukot kay Elliot.
We really have no idea why they took Elliot.
Bakit nila gagawin ganon? Ang asawa ko, foreigner siya, pero hindi po siya mayaman.
My husband is a foreigner, but he's not rich.
I'm scared.
Samantala, ang PNP sa Cebuco, mariing pinabulaanan na sangkot sila sa pagdukot kay Elliot.
She said Godzilla. Oh, there's where they said they put that brawl. By the way, that was a Filipino station that showed that. I had not found the footage till there he is in the sports brawl. She was dressing him up in makeup and her sports brawl and everything else. Anyways, so
Well, he's probably bored out of his wits. He is on the beach, which is great, but if you're there 24/7 and that's all you do, it gets old fast.
We are aware that the suspect introduced themselves as they have operation against Elliot for drugs, but it was already cleared that there was no legitimate operations from any government or any law enforcement in the area against Elliot. It was already confirmed that he also doesn't have any
Well, this
drugs
is the
record in the area.
Agad daw silang nagsagawa ng investigasyon hanggang nitong October 27, sumuko sa mga otoridad ang isa sa mga suspect na naging daan.
Okay, they said that on October 27, one of the suspects surrendered, and this is, I believe she's gonna say, hold on. I
Para
paused it.
sumurrender ang dalawa pa nitong kasama.
And this led to the road to the other two suspects to surrender.
Meron na tayong 8 na identified suspects. Yung 3 ay
Okay, again, not my words. according to this policewoman, she says 8 suspects. So she said 8 suspects. Okay.
Nasa custody na ng task force, yung 5 po yung hinahanap pa ng ating authority.
Base sa
So, and keep in mind, this is an old footage. It says we're still looking for the other 5. Okay. So when this interview happened with this policewoman, this is when they only had 3 suspects, and they're still looking for the other 5. So it's a total of 8 suspects. So now it's 6 suspects. They're still looking for 2. Again, not my words, guys. I'm not pulling numbers out of my butt. These are what the policewoman said. 8 suspects total. The 3 were apprehended during the time of this interview. Now there's 6 apprehended. Now they're still looking for 2.
ng PNP, dati na raw talagang may criminal records ang mga suspect.
Yeah, I said earlier, yeah. According to police, all these suspects have criminal records.
But we don't have actual demand as of this time from the abductors to the family nor to the authorities.
Tikom din ang bibig ng mga suspect kung nasaan na si Elliot. At
She's saying the suspects are not revealing where Elliot is. Well, she says they have their mouth shut. That's what she said, actually.
higit sa lahat, kung buhay pa ito.
And that
Even more important, they're not saying whether he's alive.
kami hong nagtitip sa atin, lahat po yun ay bine-verify ho talaga natin. As of today, we still do not have any proof of life when it comes to Mr. Eastman. We are hopeful na makukuha natin siya at maibabalik natin sa kanyang pamilya.
Of course, she says we're hopeful that we can, rescue Eastman and bring him back to his family.
Samantala, hindi pa rin daw nakikipag-ugnayan kina Carisha ang pamilya ni Elliot sa Amerika.
Now, this is, again, some of you are talking about this. However, there's still no communication between Elliot's family and Carisha's family.
Interesting. There's so many of those interesting facts. As a matter of fact, somebody here said just what we just said there. We knew there was more than just the 4 or 6. This person said that there were 8. That they have 8 so far. And I'm just going to read what's here. Knight says, I'm friends with Elliot through Facebook and his messengers. His messenger has been online and offline for very short stints. Reads my comments but doesn't reply. Who has his phone anyways? My guess is his wife. And the reason that I say this is she has at least 5 or 6. I've seen 6 accounts, but 5 I've been going through. And you could see where the mother and her have contact. But I think I've seen her respond, hi, mother, something. You could tell it was her responding. I think at different points she's been using his phone. Yes. But that would be my guess, is she's checking what people are saying. Because remember, tons of people have left messages and watched his stuff since all this has happened. So she's probably going through his comments. But then she mentioned, also the neighbors said there was 8. And the neighbors said also they dragged him to a car. Bingo. Because in the recent news article, it wasn't a boat.
Again, according to the...
Correct. So the news article had stated that there's a child that's speaking now against the parent, that they can actually confer from the boat or from the house to a car. Or they called it, motorized vehicle?
Motorized vehicle, yes.
Interesting. And then it was said recently that the boat was painted gray, so it threw everybody in a tizzy. And then we talked about, well, they said there were no numbers on the boat and this and that. So yes, we're now starting to get reports that he was put in a car, not a boat.
Yeah.
And that would make more sense at this point.
Right.
Oh, snap, 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 snap.
Yeah.
Snap, 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 snap. The community or village knows more than they are saying. Okay. And and that they're letting on bring in the cadaver dogs to trace. I'm curious too, because supposedly there's everybody putting every effort into finding him house to house to house. And now they have 8 suspects. I went through and told you how I would find them, but you can't get blood out of a turnip. And especially if you have that, if you can't, if you don't have the bodily evidence, then there's no crime situation, which I don't think that works there.
Well, no, not really. Corpus delicti, I know.
Okay. So, they're just praying that
it's
he's
harder
alive.
to prove, yes.
And it's been 3 weeks. It's just getting weirder by the moment. And this video, for those non-doubters, this video is from GMA. This is them talking to the family. You guys can go to GMA and find the video. This is her now telling a story. So it is just getting stranger by the moment that they have a witness and a kid that's squawking, and he said it was in a vehicle. That would make more sense than trying to take him out to a boat, being they could just drive away too. So wow, interesting. So
Ang FBI o ang Federal Bureau of Investigation ng Amerika nakipag-ugnayan na kay Carisha.
We work closely
Oh, well, she just said that the FBI already contacted and spoke with Carisha.
with local authorities as they carry out their search efforts, and we make every effort to keep lines of communication open with families. The Department of State has no higher priority than the welfare and safety of U.S. citizens
they're
abroad.
just reading the
Naglaan na rin
statement from the
ng
FBI.
kalahating milyong pisong reward money ang mga otoridad sa sino mang makapagtuturo sa kinaroroonan ni Elliot.
There's a $500,000 peso reward for anybody who can give information that could lead to his rescue.
Excuse me. You know what I seen the other day? I seen Kamala Harris come down in a UFO, and they took that boy. They sure did. Then they dropped him off the White House so he could vote. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can put that in Gcash. Yeah, have a nice day. Okay, go on.
Too soon.
No, it's not.
Anyway.
He would want me to say, he would want me to vlog.
Maghingi ako tulong sa inyo. Ikabalik ang ugangan ko. Sana buhay pa sa
Who
ugangan.
munched his
Please
eyebrows
lang
there?
po.
It's one of the best.
So he says, and that's the mother-in-law speaking Cebuano. She said, I'm asking for your help for helping my son-in-law back.
Wait a minute. Did they say $500,000 pesos?
It has to be real. Oh, you're talking about it's not that much? It is.
No,
it's a
50.
lot.
Yeah,
It's a
50,000 was only 1,000. Now
It's
we're
a
talking.
lot.
Now we're talking about 100,000. Hey,
That's a lot. Oh my gosh.
I like to say, I
Best
know who
feelings
it
in the
is.
world, being on a motor in the province in the Philippines.
This is cool ass, just so you guys know. They're just saying that she's gonna say something about there. I'm just gonna tell you right now what it's about. She's gonna say that
They're just mentioning
now
other
there's a lot
vloggers.
more foreign vloggers here in the Philippines.
Yes, and we
because
said
of
that
the
they've
beauty of the Philippines.
it increased since the pandemic, and it really increased. And there's a lot of popular vloggers. So this is a section where they did show 6-7 vloggers that are popular, and it has where there were a couple hundred that might have been here in the country. There's a couple 10,000 of them now in the country because of the beauty and because it's become, it's becoming more and more popular. Everybody vlogs everything here. It's one of the most vlogged places in the world. So
Sa mga nakalipas na taon, parami ng parami ang mga dayuhang vlogger na dito sa Pilipinas napiling manirahan. Sa kanilang mga vlog, ipinapahayag nilang nabighani sila sa ganda ng ating bansa.
What a beautiful place. Because coral reefs are beautiful.
Buong mundo ngayon nakatutok kung paano mareresolba ang kasong ito.
The whole world is watching on how this conflict will be resolved.
Kung ang Pilipinas ba ay maituturing na ligtas at payapa.
If it is to be stated that the Philippines is peaceful and free.
Hindi lang para sa mga banyaga, kundi para sa ating lahat.
Not only for the natives, but for everybody as well.
Kabayan, siya po ay aking asawa. Siya Ari. Sa asawa ko, nakakaalam. Please, sabihin niyo po kung saan siya.
She says, my fellow men, Kabayan, please let us know where he is.
At sana, sumuko na po yung kumuha sa kanya.
And I would hope that the ones who took him would surrender.
Her final
Hello,
statement.
honey. I wish you came home safely. I miss you so much. Please come home already.
That's it. That is it. All right, so we're going to let these other photos go through as we talk a little further. It's here on the channel where over and over again it says very shameful. It's repeated by Filipinos over and over again. And that's who's responding on GMA right now. I hope he's still alive, and I hope nothing like this ever happens again. Very shameful, very shameful. Let the heroes and help let's be heroes and help the family. If anyone knows or has seen you in the heart of the American Filipino, let's see, I got to translate it again. Let's immediately inform the authorities and the police. I hope he gets back, as another statement. His poor wife. And we're going to go through some of the comments. We might open the panel. It depends on the time frame that we actually have. Praying for his safety. So many different statements, but there's so much actually going on here. Why doesn't the government help more? They're not taking real action. Here's somebody saying, my Italian fiance and I were even planning to backpack around Zamboanga, but not now. This is very shameful, and we hope for his safe return. There are several comments. Here's the policewoman just a minute ago. That's the one that everybody's been hearing about. She's been making all the main statements from Pro 9. Some additional photos here. Let's see what else is being said. Shameful. Shameful Filipino. It's being repeated over and over again. That's why it can be said that you should choose. You should, I'm assuming they meant should. That's why it's saying you can't be said that you should choose the Philippines with sad faces. May the foreigner still be alive. Lord, please guide to protect him. Let's see. You can like any of those if you want to. It's shameful and sad. I hope he's alive. Yeah. Is there any that you're saying?
Yeah. Hi, Victoria. How you doing today? That's not that one.
Just do the ones that are.
Oh, you're headed back. Stephen Williams says, hello from Poland, expat from Clearwater. There's thousands of Filipino overseas workers here in Poland headed back to Dumaguete soon. Now, of course, this is a statement that's been said over and over too. Pinoy Islander says the wife must be investigated. I'm sure they did. And his ex-Muslim husband, they have something to do with the kidnapping.
It's been said, but I think at this point, hearing from the wife, and they mentioned that that there actually could be known dealers and all of that. I think they're all just not speaking. We did say at some point that minimally they're just not saying. A lot of people have said they know who it is, they're just not saying.
All right.
Including, the ones that have been arrested, they know what's going on. Yeah, right here. Pause this a second.
Oh.
That is another scene of the front of the house. And I think we've shown this before, but look how many houses are there. They're stacked behind and in front. And there's a long line of these. So there's a lot of possibilities. Initially, just by looking out from his side of the camera, it looked like there was just a few houses. He mentioned, because that would have been a possibility that there was only a few houses. There's a lot of them. There's a whole section of them, guys. So that's what I'm talking about at this point. It was a very active area.
Yeah,
So
it's a community. Yeah.
when we said that he might be cutting into somebody's business, I didn't realize there was that many places to have a sorry store. I also didn't realize that somebody mentioned in here about him being a 5-6er and loaning out money in that area. He could have stepped on the wrong feet, including the dealers.
Well, actually, that's where I was gonna head at.
Because if there's dealers, there's 5-6ers there. I'm telling you what.
Here's also a good probability too.
That,
What I'm saying is, for example, Pablo says, could it be drug related? Okay, I don't think he was dealing. Again, opinion, not facts. Opinion. I don't think he's dealing. However, it's very possible that some of the
Is that us muted or no?
no. Otherwise, you'd have a bunch.
Oh,
of
I
comments.
see. Sorry.
Right. So, could it be drug related? I don't think
Loan
so.
sharking. Yeah.
Not directly. However, it's very possible that he did finance one of the dealers without knowing.
Well, that's what a
You know what I'm
few. I
saying?
won't say everyone. There's a lot of people saying that. Well, that person doesn't have to pay back that 35,000 now. So that
Right.
last one that he talked and shown was
Correct. I don't think
up
he
there.
directly is involved. No. However, it's possible he indirectly got involved because of his loaning.
There was
And
just so
that
many
that could
no-nos.
get them to go at him, because remember, these people don't care where the money's from as long as they get it back, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Hey Sarah, how you doing? Hello, Heidi and George. No notice.
No notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Notification. It could be because we literally put it out the last minute. Yeah.
Forinoy, hey Forinoy. Magandang umaga. Good morning to you, brother George and sister Heidi. This one?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Eastman reminds
I'm
me
gonna have to, anyways.
of British businessman named Stephen Davis, which took place in Manila. His wife showed no remorse or empathy. Now, keep in mind again, I'm not.
Oh, I didn't see
Certain
that.
people, behave differently in different situations. Some people show emotions. Some people show over emotions. Some people
This
no emotions.
one I
you know
didn't
what I mean?
feel in the video we were getting the emotions.
Right.
And I'm surprised with her being young. She didn't look like it was something very upsetting to her. But again, I know if you guys will watch that video, I'm just wondering about pulling up the look at my hair. I'm just wondering if we should I'm not even gonna try to figure that one out. Hot mess. Mayor is fine this morning. Okay. There was a lot of disagreements. He said that the sister was hitting on the kids, why she was going to have another kid. Then they were going on about she came down from the mountain and destroyed my life, our life, and that really went on and
on
on
YouTube
and
Live,
on.
which is again
Don't go around
broadcasted.
Don't go around with
everybody.
those people, he kept saying, and talk with them about things. And he was telling her not to talk with her family and walk with them and talk about stuff. And so the empathy thing could just be coming from a lot of disputes that they had. Maybe she does know what's going on. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this back on. Is it bad?
Yeah. Double A says he expired, but no body, no murder. Right.
Yeah.
No one knows if he's still alive.
Yeah.
How do they actually know who came and snatched him? To my understand, okay, some of the reports stated that one of them did not have a mask on. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if one of them did not have a mask on or none of them had a mask on. You know, but it's just odd that one report says, or a lot of reports says, one of them did not have a mask on.
And here's the thing about the boat. I don't know about that, because now that I think about the car, that'd be more apt that they would have went out the back way with them, not into a boat out in the ocean like that.
Yeah. Angela says probably dead already, been too long. John Ryder says she had him set up.
I think he set himself up.
Foreignoy
I just
says,
think,
yeah, he got warned 3 weeks at least.
yeah.
Scott says he agrees that he's gone.
Yeah.
Angela says probably buried in the cave. There's a cave
There
that
was a cave.
a couple of them were hiding in. Yeah.
Well, they got 8 people that aren't going to speak, which means if he was alive, they'd have pointed him out. I mean, I really believe that at this point, and I don't think there's a lot of information to give out anymore for the 500,000. I just think that you can't if he's not around to actually report.
Yeah.
There's
And again, like I said, and a lot of people will agree. Yeah, I can't imagine antibiotics on a boat. In fact, I can't imagine any antibiotics at all. And clotting agents to stop bleeding. They know he's gone, so won't talk. Because if they do, it's murder. They never find him. It's an open case, no charges. Mike says sounds like an inside job the family trying to cover up. But Jen says everyone don't have to pay the money back. There you go. Well, AA says gun or not, Filipinos will they'll take a peek. But remember, the first thing anybody, whether they're Filipino or any race, first things first is their own safety is what they're going to think of. So if they open their mouth, they could, tick off the wrong people, since these are obviously the wrong people.
right.
And yeah.
Okay, it says here that the child of a principal suspect shared accounts of the U.S. blogger's abduction and has information. The child of a principal suspect told the authorities how the perpetrator kidnapped, which means how the kidnapped the American vlogger in Cebuco. There it is. Filipino. Eastman was abducted from their house from the time he was transported using a motorized vehicle, that they had the accounts of it and that they know about it. And that came from GMA. And that came from GMA 3 days ago. It'll be 3 days ago at 5, so 72 hours ago. Well, part of it's Filipino in the beginning, but it says, yung anak po ng isa sa MAGA principal. Suspect has provided information as what had allegedly transpired from the time Eastman was abducted from the house until the time he was put into a motorized vehicle. The child, okay. However, this is all still subject to validation, was what was put further down, is why it's, exactly not being put in the papers. So it's still interesting that, and I told you, kids will squawk. I mean, kids are, most of them will actually, when they're telling something, how they see something and they're honest, like, hey, you got a rip in your pants, or you got, unless it's like some 17-year-old, but I don't know. There's something going on. There's something going on, guys, because that's not the first time we heard about a motorized vehicle and it happening a different way. But we've heard about the boat being repainted, and they were looking for the boat forever, and they never found the boat. Well, this would explain why. Who's the one that came up with it got painted gray recently? I don't know where that came from. Somewhere in the last couple live streams or reading an article, or it could be anywhere. I don't know anybody else know where we had heard the boat being painted gray. down to the point where they said they did find a white boat that they thought was it, and it was part of getting one of the perpetrators. There's so much going on.
Right.
So much going on.
Bisangano says more than just a family probably saw apart what's going on, but snitches get put on ditches also applies. Best to keep silent no matter what you say or know.
Well, now that I know that it's dealing with dealers, there's no way in this country. This is not the U.S., guys. This would be like us being in Mexico, and there's no way. No way.
Yeah, Angelo says maybe it was due to his loan shark or his family members. No, again, if you do 5'6",
Yeah.
your lifespan shortens drastically. It doesn't matter what race you are.
Correct. I just that last four. It isn't his last. It's one of the longest lives I think he did. That he really spilled the beans, and he even went hunting for the sister inside of the house, guys. That's why I thought it was dealing with a family dispute, but now I just think there's some sort of. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think there's more known out there.
Thaddeus says there are hundreds of cold cases. He had a very personal experience with a friend, ex-Nade. Parents fought for his justice, made a documentary on his case.
And that's just it. We're really, until today, okay, and then Jessica Soho talking to the family, a little bit more has been revealed, more than any of the papers have put out. And so not much being said on the other family side, and still somewhat not a whole lot being said till now.
Right.
And this is a whole different situation.
Steven says, sadly, I think the poor kid is dead. Again, I pray that he's not. Yeah.
Oh, did you already say hi to Scott? Hey, Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott. How you doing?
If we didn't say it, yeah, we're just.
Yeah. Now, Benny G says his wife had a lot of time to formulate her story. The family knows these kidnappers, which is possible. Sister is AI's involved. Victoria says, now this is true. Victoria says, obviously the family were forewarned on his behalf. And another reason Elliot was frightened to leave the area, also probably fear of being ambushed too. Hence why he stayed put, in my opinion. Actually, that's actually a good, that's a valid, different point of view. I didn't think about this angle, but Bobby G has a good angle. I don't agree, of course, to this type of behavior, but it makes sense. They'd be looking out the windows. So when all this was happening, they ain't gonna hurt their own people. So American, or they know not, just won't talk close community there. That's how he was warned months in advance. I mean, I believe what Bobby G is saying is whose side are they going to take on? The Filipino side or the foreigner side?
Well, that's what I mean. So basically,
That's a different point of view. Yeah.
You talk about like when they took them away, just let them.
Yeah.
Can you mute this? We just got something in there. I need you to hear the. Yeah, so we was just looking at a video. He definitely wanted to leave. That's what we were just looking at. Is we just found another video that looked like he was still trying to say he was leaving. So that actually is. I mean, we got that he needed to. He said in that video that he needed to go back then and make more money. He said things were falling apart. So also he was on his way out before this happened too. So what's wrong?
Nothing. Just analyzing. Hey, Michael Johnson, Music to Motion in the house. You changed your name to MJ's Philippine Retirement. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that the other
Yeah.
day.
AA says the situation he placed himself in, he never stood a chance. I mean, heed warnings. If people are warning you, pay attention. Steven says, yeah, the family are 100% involved. They knew the kidnappers. Now, involvement, yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it's also possible that they knew the kidnappers. And the reason why I paused and sat there for a second is because technically, even if they're not involved and they know who took them and not releasing this information, that would make them accomplices. So I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying, in a roundabout way, even if they had nothing to do with it, but they knew the people who took them and just zip their lips, yeah, then that would make them involved.
1 second here.
Okay. Pablo says his wife knows more than she's telling the police. That's a question, by the way.
So it's probably not going to be today. Probably.
Oh no, probably not. Now, Angelo says always check Filipino background before getting married.
Well,
That's a little hard to do, especially here.
yeah. And here's the thing: them documents can be bought really easy.
Right.
We'll cover it on another day. There's a bunch of stuff that came up through immigration. It'll be interesting to cover these stories.
Yeah, Benny G says yes. The
But
family
a lot of
allegedly was aware of
documents
threats
being-
of kidnapping.
Yeah.
Benny G says if the plan was to kidnap him for ransom, they would have to ask for ransom. Since no ransom request, he's either dead or the family's involved and knows his
Yeah, this
abductors.
isn't a ransom. There's no way after 3 weeks. Although there have been others in the past where it did take a few weeks, but I think before they asked for the amount, but they at least got the photo showing they were okay. There was still a communication. They had not asked for a specific amount at
Right.
that point.
Now,
But
the-
this doesn't.
yeah.
these aren't.
I'm hoping this is not what it is, what I'm about to say. Okay, there is a Filipino term called salvage. Okay? It's not what you think.
Oh, yes, it is.
When Filipino says, "Eh, mugawan yan, poto salvage ka," don't do that. You might get salvaged. That means they're warning you. Salvage is a term when you just disappear. It basically means that they took you, ex-nayed you, and then put your body where it's never gonna get found. That's called salvage. So hopefully that's not what happened. Yes, Victoria says people are so scared to talk due to possible repercussions. Chosen One says I'm sure they will presume him dead rather shortly. They stopped looking for him long time ago. They're just trying to catch the offenders.
Oh, I'm trying to wonder who these 8 are. And this new kid, I definitely think there's 5 to 10 times more they know that's not being released. I think the stuff just being released to the public or leaking through where other people are saying things on the side of their mouth is actually, I think it's a lot more to it, or they know.
Yeah. Dan says, I hope he's okay, but he was super disrespectful not only to the local village, but also to the Islamic faith. Correct.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially the last video really showed some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, David Z says he renewed his visa. Cindy G says, "Hey Cindy, how you doing?"
Okay, but Dave, I just want to mention David C. did say, no, people are confusing things. The landlady had been working in Saudi Arabia. So,
Yeah. Cindy G says, always people scared to talk here. Oh, she's talking about, okay. She's talking about in the Magedi. Beware foreigners here that think it is just like their own countries. It's not. Right. I think she's saying that a lot of foreigners watch what they say, because you probably again shouldn't say anything political in Philippine politics, that kind of deal. You try to avoid that, obviously.
it's a serious thing. You'll
Yeah.
get other bloggers and other expats here. They're like, it's not a big deal and it's not going to happen situation. It's a real deal here. That's why when you hear people say, I just stick to my own and, my family, or like I say, I don't go out and do a lot of things with a bunch of expats. I don't hang out with a bunch of people. I don't do this and I don't do that. Pretty much I just do me like I would in the US. I wouldn't get involved with extra politics or all these other things because it just is what it is. So
Yeah. Learning to Live says, thanks for covering him. Found your channel the other day and I appreciate the updates. Thank you, Learning to Live.
thank you.
Now, Bruce Davis, this is a real thing, guys. Bruce Davis says, hell yeah, you fight all the time. It's okay to do things, fight out, then play nice. Now, keep in mind, when somebody pulls out a weapon and then they tell you, come with us or else.
He's talking about us when I said we fight all the time. He's talking about us. He's talking about us fighting all the time. Yeah, we do, but we make up and it's over.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
we never
Never
stay
mind.
mad overnight or anything. It's just where it is. But I mean,
Yeah, but either way, again, if anything happens to you, if somebody again has a weapon and says, come with us or else, you fight. Because guess what? Wherever they're going to take you, they're going to take you out anyway. You know what I'm saying? They're not taking you out to take you out. They are taking you out to take you out. Got it? Good. All right. Victoria says, would the marriage paperwork have to be done first prior to legal ceremony? Yes, it looked like they did a practice beforehand of how it happened, hence the confusion. I think. Well,
I don't think that was a practice.
no, I don't think it's a practice because again, in Islam, that's how you can get married exactly that way,
The way
and there's
they
nothing
did.
wrong with that. However, be aware that the government does not recognize
That wasn't a
that
practice
because it's
ceremony
not
we
on
showed.
paper. Right.
That was actually, yeah,
Right.
because they've been married for a year. So in
Yeah.
2 days.
Unlike
Almost.
unlike Christian or Catholics that require a marriage license before a priest can marry you, in the way of Islam, you can marry before the paperwork.
But for it to be legal, they needed to go file this stuff with
Correct.
the courts anyway. So maybe that's what the other section that's where the confusion comes in for me, because it did show some sort of ceremony a year ago, but yet
Right.
something else transpired. So like when they got all dressed up, that might have actually been in front of the mosque, but was
Right.
that filed? Or I guess it really doesn't.
Well, at
you
this
know.
point, it's a moot point, right?
Yeah.
But no,
Still
all
just
you need
curious.
is for the two to say their vows and a witness. That's all that's required in Islam. Thaddeus says there's a major language barrier north to south Philippines. I would say nowadays it's everywhere, only because back then people stayed in their regions. Now everybody's everywhere. In fact, most Pampangueños I talk to, they speak by default Tagalog because they don't know where these people are from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let us know, guys. Where you actually believe. Do you believe they're holding him somewhere? Some believe he went home.
Yeah.
Which
Hey, Victor, like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You would think they would have noticed that, but then again, there's a lot of things government does not communicate, so maybe he really did get on a plane and leave.
No, it's possible that he's back home already. Yeah, I mean,
You're like, I just let him know later. Is the
Don Papito says the night she was kidnapped, his wife told him she was too afraid to sleep with him that night. She slept in her parents' room. She knew they were coming. Now, Chosen One has been in the Philippines. He's a world traveler. He travels a lot. He travels in the Philippines. He travels in Thailand. He travels in Brazil. He travels in, he's a world traveler. Now, Chosen One says, out of all the places in the Philippines, to shake my head. So, again,
and then add into it that he was a 5'6" loan shark. He opened
In a
an
red
internet
zone.
business. He married a young Filipina that belonged to somebody's that
Well.
possibly was hot-headed. This is somewhere in the backside of it. Add in all these situations
it was a powder keg.
that it was more than a powder keg. Then he sat around in his live streams just really, and then there was some tension with the sister, and he threatened to, he said he was going to do something physical. Them were his exact words. Do we play the other clip now or just leave it in the previous live stream?
Yeah, just leave it in
Just leave it in the
it's
previous.
hard to zero in.
Yeah, it's hard to really.
Hillbilly Pyro
It's
says,
just like a 20-minute clip.
yeah, he's reacting to what the other people commented. He says, wow, he was set up from within. Sarah says, this is a different angle, but it makes sense. Remember, he felt like a prisoner. They don't let him out, that kind of deal. Sarah Tyson says, Krista didn't want him out shopping for those other wives. Could be. It could be, because he did say he could have 7 wives, right? I mean,
That's another. Yeah,
he said
talked
it
about that,
casually. I'm just saying he did say that, but he did say it casually. I don't think he really meant it, but the fact that it's in his head, it kind of Jorge says, sounds like the wife knows a lot more than she's letting on.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I pray that Elliot is alive and holding on. 21 days and still nothing, Knight says. Nothing significant or explanation or where, how, and why this happened. Again, 21 days is not looking good.
I think her story added to something, but it is strange at this point. To me, it's almost like she knows he is in here, so she's okay to talk about it now. I don't know. I'm getting a weird vibe. I know you guys get a weird vibe when you say that. What I'm saying is that to come forward in an investigation, like people said, that's probably why she's not really saying anything. I didn't expect her to step up to a full podium, but then again, I'm surprised it wasn't from the beginning. But now it's been 3 weeks. It's maybe she just felt the need, kind of, I hate to say it about the justifying thing, like that one girl's trying to justify who the father of her baby is out in public right now. And a bunch of people said, yeah, you really didn't have to say, but now that she's coming forward and saying these things and some more is being added to the story, that seems to be some of the real light right now.
Right. Now, keep in mind that Victoria makes a good point, but I'll tell you a realistic outcome if he actually did this. Victoria says, why didn't he call authorities? Philippine American or embassy that he's aware of many threats. I'd be like, get me out of here now. I'm in danger. Did he think people watching his videos would help him? No, the reason why Victoria says, did he think that people watching, because he kept broadcasting this, and broadcasting this is not going to help him. But okay, realistically, let's say he did grab his phone and call 911. If he called the cops would say, I'm sorry, you're not in imminent danger, call the barangay. Maybe they can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now when he calls the barangay, I'm giving you a realistic scenario if he did do this. So calling the cops is not the answer, because again,
I don't think it's a real thing at
cops
this point.
cops will default you to barangay. Now, let's say he called the barangay. Best case scenario, okay? The barangays will say, okay, we'll help you out, but you need to pay for our gas, and we'll take you up to the border of our barangay. From then on, you're on your own.
Well, in that live stream we showed the other day, and I have to keep mentioning it, he was pretty much having a spat with her on air saying, well, your sister hasn't completed this, and that, and look at the gap. Somebody came in and they could have took our stuff from the store. Next time they will. And he's doing this live on air. And then he says, they're just going to come in the middle of the night and take me. And you guys don't want me walking up the beach. And they were like having it out on air. And he kept saying that somebody was going to take him. And to me, that somebody that said it that many times,
That's another thing.
and that's probably, and before this happened, he only had like 6, 7, 8, 9 views, 13 maybe, during his live streams. And the same with his videos. He had, I'm not trying to down his channel, but his channel was not, if there'd have been a couple hundred in his live streams, or 40 in his live streams, or even 35 to 40 all the time, they appeared to be mostly Filipino. But for it to be said over and over again, if I'd have heard that, I'd have been like, they're just having it out, especially people that live outside the Looking Glass would not know that the area is dangerous. They're just hearing somebody broadcast this.
Well, that's the problem I have with him broadcasting, is because, again, first off, since they know these suspects, 8 suspects, keep in mind, not once did they say these suspects are known for taking people. They never said that, ever. What I'm getting at is, I believe, again, this is opinion, but this is a normal human behavior. If somebody keeps saying, hey, this is going to happen to me, and you're one of those bad people, they'll be like, that's a good idea. You're planting a seed. It's called planting a seed. You're giving these bad people a plan, an idea. You planted a seed. Oh, they're going to take it. That's not a bad idea. And then he kept saying it. He kept planting that seed.
He kept loaning out money. There's so much, guys. I know one thing is that if he was still
John Coffey
alive,
says,
he
no
would've
word from
arrived.
Elliot's family. Strange. And a lot of people agree with you, John Elliot, and also Sarah. Sarah Tyson says the same thing. It's kind of strange that they're quiet about this. Yeah, Knight says, I was talking to him an hour before he was abducted. Bring Elliot home.
And his 6-pack. Yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, with the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Chosen One says, if you don't live amongst no foreigners, you're probably in the wrong area. Now, this is somewhat true. For instance, now Heidi and I are living here. There's a bunch of foreigners in this neighborhood. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Some.
Right. Some. And I mean, we do see them walk by up and down the street. Yes, we do. And I know where some of these foreigners live. But point being is, if we don't see any at all, that's what Chosen was saying.
No Western foreigners that I'm aware of.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
No, you said you see a white guy. And I think you did see that guy too.
Was it?
A Caucasian, sorry. I saw a Caucasian guy. But no, in the other area, same thing. There are foreigners around. Actually, I do see a lot of foreigners. I even tell you, like, I almost ran over a foreigner the other day with the e-trike. Because he was just walking right in front of me. He got into Filipino mode, I guess. Let's just walk right into stuff,
Them's you people out there.
Chosen One said they didn't take him for ransom.
Georgia
They didn't take him to the
traffic is a
mountains.
trip.
They didn't ask for a ransom. My guess is that they fed him to those huge crocodiles. He vanished. Dang, that's a good theory. Holy crap. We do have Asian crocodiles, which again, they grow really huge. One of the biggest crocs in the world, yes. And yeah, if they eat you, yes, you're gone.
I don't think they took him in a boat. This whole theory now that the other gang took him and another gang took him and he was off in a boat was a story that was fabricated. I'm really believing this kid. I'm gonna. Oh man.
Yeah, Hillbilly says it's clear they know something.
Is it
Why
too
they have not been
soon?
questioned before?
Is it
more?
too soon to talk about a football pool?
Yes.
You just
Jorge says maybe his wife and family planned him getting,
hey,
and
there-
pretend he was still alive and have the Eastman family send money, but things got too hot. Yeah, again, Big C says Eastman said he was lending money to people to profit, earn interest. Maybe that triggered his kidnapping, loan sharking. It's against Muslim law, which is true. Maybe he pissed off the black market competition. That's also true.
Yeah, that's some of the first live streams we did. That's what I said. It's
Yeah.
probably
It's that's another thing.
somebody within a 2-mile radius.
Does
Is my guess.
does some form of mafia exist in the Philippines? Yeah,
or 2
even
meters.
Yeah, even in the U.S., some form of mafia exists. And is it possible that the mafia in the area, these are just their goons, and they were instructed to do this to him? It's
oh yeah, and
possible,
then you
yeah.
wouldn't turn on
And yeah,
if you're a
even
goonie, you don't
more-
turn on the
Correct.
big goon.
More reason why everybody keeps
It's
quiet.
quiet. No
if
way.
there is a mafia there,
Their family's in danger.
everybody's gonna zip it. Like,
Their family and their family and their family in the next province and in the next town. And no, guys, that's not even a joke. So
yeah,
that would make more sense.
that
and
would
that's-
makes a lot of sense. It's a
And if
lot
all of
sense.
this that we're saying is making any sense, here shortly this story will just disappear. In other words, not our story. I'm talking about like when they find it'll be like I said, the Cebu situation and the club. It'll get some coverage. We knew the guy was in jail. They've got 8 people in jail right now or being, combed over. It'll just go, hey, they're talking to somebody else, and then after Christmas, people will quickly forget because there's no dust being kicked up over on the other side of the pond,
Right.
over the ocean for sure. So if it's dealing with all that, and now they're mentioning that in her interview with Soho, good chances it's all just going to. No way them 8 people are going to talk. No way.
Well, they only have 6, but
8. They just said again there were 2 more.
No, they haven't apprehended them.
Oh, well,
There's 6 in custody. There's still 2 that are still not accounted for.
oh, they got 2 more people. Something Rappler just reported 2 more. So, like I said, the 8 you
Yeah.
just mentioned 8 in the thing.
There are 8 suspects at the time. She said there's 8 suspects. They have 3. We're looking for the 5.
All right, last night Rappler said there were 2 more.
Well,
so
then-
maybe they're just repeating their story then.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
another thing. Some of these stories are repeats, and some of these stories are dated, meaning they're old stories that somehow released
John
them.
Coffey, I never said that there were 8 Facebook accounts. So I'll just address that, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I said there were 6. 5 of them we did do a screenshot the other day, so I didn't say 8.
Yeah, Big C says it's a disaster waiting to happen. John says he was lending money out, loan sharking. Right. DJ says loan sharking as an American in the Philippines as a Americano. Play stupid games with stupid prizes. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play stupid game, you win stupid prizes. That's the
Yeah, and again, that's the one thing. Again, like because O'Brien says he did say he was lending money out. Yes, loan sharking, pretty sure. Mr. Bill, loan sharking. Mr. Bill, loan sharking is prohibited in Islam. Very haram. Yes, that's the number 2's game. Yeah.
According to Don Papito, theirs was a religious and legal marriage. So they did go down to the court and file that. Papito said.
Oh, okay. Now, Knight has a point again, and remember, this is true. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if Elliot did wrong in the eyes of the community. No one deserves this.
Yep, we said.
It's inhumane and disgusting. Thoughts and prayers for the American family. Yes, again, I agree with you. Nobody should be executed for that.
1 second, guys.
Yeah, sorry, just imported stuff. Yeah, see, that's another thing. This is what makes, actually, now that again, that tells you something bigger is involved.
Sorry,
'Cause,
it was the bank.
Chosen One says if nobody claimed 500K reward, he vanished for sure. Again, the fact that nobody's, I mean, at 500,000, somebody's gonna snitch you for sure. The fact that nobody's snitching, it does not look good at all. It means, again, in all probability, these are just goons. You know. Now that I think about it, yeah. Hillbilly says, oh, now keep in mind Hillbilly's here in the Philippines, so he's not he knows, he's here, so he knows certain things about the Philippines. Yes, true, but wow, guy must be a fool. Talk about red flag city. WTF was he thinking? Correct. Don't live in red zone areas, guys. Chosen One says 500K pesos is like 3 million in the US. Filipinos see it as something bigger, you know what I'm saying? I mean, remember, you know, again, when you get here, you'll understand what Chosen One's telling you. Basically, he's telling you that again, here that's somewhat the equivalent, not necessarily, but somewhat again. It's a matter of, again, since everything's cheaper here, or somewhat cheaper, you can purchase more stuff. Yes. Um, Mr. Bill says loan business equals DED. That reminds me of old brother Rada. RUNOFT. um, Big C says one does not need to pay a dead person back. Learning to Live says, is her family handling the Wi-Fi business thing, or is it disabled? I wonder. Well, they can't keep running the business if they can't pay the subscription. I mean, it's what, $80?
Might be 60. I don't know. I haven't checked recently.
Well,
to
even
see what the
$60,
price-
that's still a good
3,000
amount.
pesos, yeah.
And
okay.
again, I honestly don't see a return on that. I mean, there's that many people that, again, they'll get with 15 pesos per 2 hours. Well, either
not
way,
very much.
either
25
way,
cents for a couple
yeah,
hours.
25 cents per customer. I mean, I don't think you can recoup that. Sweet Magic Poison says, how old is she? In some communities, kids are being trained. Oh, wait, hold on.
I would say she just turned 18, but until
No.
officially there's a birth certificate.
The kid.
Oh, who knows?
The kid. The witness. That's
They
right.
haven't said.
That could be fake. That could be a plant. That's right. That's a good theory there, Sweet Magic Poison.
Made it to the newspaper, so there has to be something. I mean, I
Right.
get newspapers aren't exactly.
Hey, kid, this is what you're going to say, okay?
Right, but it totally goes against even what the.
I'll
what
give you
the
5
family-
pesos. Here.
So are they trying to get the family in trouble by saying? I don't know. Here's the thing: if it was, you would think they wouldn't listen to them at
Well-
all. It wouldn't have made, and that's GMA that put that in there recently.
Well, that's another thing. This kid may not be existing. This
We
could
don't
be
know
just.
how old the kid is.
Well,
either.
what I'm saying is this kid may not even exist. This could be just a story to flush the people who took him out. You know how sometimes cops give, a misleading story just to give the culprits a sense of, oh, it's they'll never find us, and then they put their guards down, that kind of deal. We don't know. Yeah, but that's a good angle. Hey Ruby, good day, Heidi and George. Sam Sack says, I believe the whole barrio knows everything. Chismis is powerful in small barrios.
And big. I mean, and if they really didn't know, and it was just, I'm sure they've had hundreds of inquiries. I don't think it all went silent. I'm sure all kinds of stuff is leaked through. So they didn't put all that in the paper. The fact they put that there's a child of one of the suspects,
Yeah.
that seems to be. I don't think it's just somebody paid. Think about it. They did say it was the child of somebody they suspect.
Right.
They're
No,
coming
no.
forward. I think it's a separated parent. They're trying to get some of that money, is what I think.
Could be, yeah. Knight says 3 people from Brisbane, Australia flew in on Friday, just gone to do a search and rescue, SNR. Local said he's already dead and to fly home. So the people in the area told them
Interesting.
to go home. He's gone.
Well, I'd be curious on, is it somebody you know or something you've read, or was that a Reddit thing or a Facebook thing? Yeah, it's pretty much would be about right. But hey Ruby.
Ruby says if you're a Philippine or Filipino part, you probably need to check it out. I agree. What's been posted in the post, you'll probably learn more about the person.
Mhm.
If your partner seems to have an extraordinary amount of dead people in their posts, aka, oh, sorry, my blah 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 passed away.
Yeah, researching it.
Yeah,
Well, I just thought it was
that's
odd
kind
that
of
his wife has 5 confirmed accounts, and they are all in semi different. Like she's got one that's called Cries Amalia, and then she's got, of course, hers that says her name plus Eastman, Kersha, Jala, Kirschman, Eastman. But we did a screenshot of at least the 5, and the other one has some of her stuff in there, but it's not confirmed by any photos. That's why I can't really say the 6th one might not be hers. But 5 of them show they've got the people and her face and everything in them. So, and then his would make the 6th account but I would imagine she still got his phone and keeps it charged to do,
right. Yeah, just to, I mean, remember if she's completely innocent, she may be just checking to see if they're contacting her, the people who took him. Or it's also possible that the cops have access to that account just in case said people that took him are going to contact, that kind of stuff. We don't know. Now Don Pepito says there's religious and legal marriage. Correct. However, again, most Christian and Catholic marriages by default, as Ruby says, in Catholic marriage in the Philippines and even in the US too. I don't know about Australia, but in the US too. You have to have a civil marriage, aka, government marriage first
I just got the cold
before
shoulder down.
church marriage. Correct.
See that? I just got the cold shoulder down there.
Asleep.
Big baby.
Hillbilly says
My
no.
Christmas
I think
present
he's
is
gone.
sleeping.
When you say he's on his way out, he's leaving. Was that to go back to America or elsewhere? I believe going back to
America. Yeah, he said he wanted to go
Yeah.
back. He missed his grandparents. This sounded like a permanent leaving, but just a few live streams before he said it was to get some more money. But he did say in that 117 days before that everything was falling apart, like repairs all the time of this and this falling apart, and he was going to have to buy this and that, and the money was just, he said, I'm broke. He actually went on about how he didn't have any money. And
Yeah. Don
To go
Pepito
home.
says my Filipino wife doesn't like me going places alone because girls are always come up to me. Remember that again. That's also like what Victoria said. It's possible that she didn't want anybody else approaching her man, so she said, "Stay here."
Well, I don't know. He said he had to get permission to leave the house, and it didn't look that serious. I mean, if he was already down there and they knew he shouldn't be there, if he couldn't even go outside by himself, how come nobody did nothing? I mean, it didn't make any difference that night who was protecting him, right? Why did you need somebody to walk with you? If you had 10 Heidis on the beach, it wouldn't have helped him.
Yeah, no.
It's
No, Papito says.
Filipino.
What are the Filipino mafia called? Sam Sag says Mafia. Mop. You know,
Yeah,
mop. You guys know what a mop is.
that's true.
Yeah, it is. So
Ew.
it's a mop. That's
Steve-
what it Mafia. Oh my god.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah.
I was wondering whether he'd be back home already or not. I don't know. Somehow, I don't know. It's stranger things have happened. There have been other cases where things have happened, even where people have claimed that they were missing and possibly ex-nayed in other countries, and they did just pop up back home. So it would not surprise me.
Right.
But talk about speculation.
Now, be aware that the mob, as it were, I guess would be a nicer term. Most of the ones that exist here, the mafia, are
Hillbilly Pyro, good night.
a night hillbilly.
Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah. Most of them are from China. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, the Russian mob is here too.
Hey, Silver Fox.
You know what I'm saying? They're not. Most of them are not actually Philippine based. Are there Filipino based one? I'm sure. But they kind of like the more localized ones. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Silver Fox said pay attention in the video where he put the sports bra on and on him, and it was clear to see as he's being abused as he was petrified. There was a lot of odd footage where like in that video we showed you, I told you I cut out the part where he said, "Can I get a drink out of that?" And she said no. And he goes, "Oh, okay." And she also asked him to fix something, and she kind of and he's like, "Well, okay, never mind," or something. But it was some of the things, and he also said they were without water for 2 days, but he didn't want to drink the Gatorade. And said something about where's the blue jug, and they went through all that. But he says, "I've got a bad dry cough." They were just really showing a lot of things that was showing their everyday life, and it seems like he was struggling to stay there. It was really
Yeah. Don Pepito says there's common law marriage in the U.S. too.
yeah.
Yeah, there's Russian mob in the Philippines. Dang, the Italians have a presence. Not so much. I'm pretty sure that do they have agents here? Yes. Do they have a strong presence? No.
Funny you would say that, Hoffman. He said the third eye people, and we do have a third eye statement that's been made. And the third eye statement states, we wrote this down and said it the other day, for those that believe in I got it here if you give me a minute. We said it last time.
Chosen one. Thank you so much. Down payment on George helping me set up my YouTube channel. So Chosen One's gonna start his own YouTube channel, and he's gonna give 5-6 loans, just so you guys know. And he's the man.
All right, so
I'm joking.
the third eye statement, whether
Thank you,
he
Chosen One.
was alive or the family had anything to do it, their statement was there was gossip, isolation, okay, and it said there was a lack of resources, lack of stability, and fleeting success and overindulgence. That had actually come out. So just for those that believe in that. But it was kind of odd because all of that would make sense about the gossip and isolation because he wasn't allowed to go out and do anything. The overindulgence was probably the amount of money he was loaning out and the interest. He was charging 30% interest. And the person that answered these had no idea what was going on, and they just knew there was somebody missing, but they didn't know anything else about like how much he owed or how much he had or any of that. And these were the responses to it. Lack of resources, he was running out of money, he was mentioning that. Lack of stability, the sister and the fighting, and just he didn't have enough money, and fleeting success. It was at that time his YouTube channel was majorly it wasn't really even taking off. The only reason it's at, I didn't even look at it recently. The only reason he's probably at 5 or 6,000 subscribers is because he was taken. Besides
the
that,
numbers you see now
30,
was not the numbers when he was taken.
he had like maybe 1,100 on the YouTube because he ran a live stream almost every day. And it was a bunch of the locals, and his Facebook, same thing as Facebook, had little to nobody on it. And so he really kept mentioning he needed the money for the YouTube channel. He kept saying that, and he said it in his Facebook, and he even told his wife that she needed to get moving on her Facebook and YouTube. And he said that this will make you money. There's good money in YouTube. And me and George just started laughing because we've been telling you guys, I think tops, and the money's gone even in half in the last year or two for a lot of content creators. So you can make a couple hundred through probably literally 200-300 a month. And for his channel, he probably would have made it about $100. He said he could live on 100 a month, so that might have been okay for him in the future. But fleeting success would have came at that point. The YouTube channel wasn't going anywhere, and he was saying that, I mean, he's had somebody that took $300 from the store. He thought maybe there was inventory missing and everything was breaking down. He kept repairing the roof. Just a lot of things were, so it's really weird that was mentioned. So that's not even.
Yeah, and again, we know that he wasn't monetized before he
No.
was taken because one,
He didn't have the hours.
correct. He may have the subs, but he does not have the hours. Correct.
I think it's at 3,000 hours now or
And
something.
also, if
3,000 hours
if
of
he
watch
was monetized, this is a gentleman that wears his heart on his sleeve. He would have let everybody know that he's monetized. Hey, I'm monetized. Awesome. That kind of stuff.
No, he needs.
And
He might have it now officially because all of us are watching it. Even
Correct.
the police are watching all of his videos. So he's probably got the hours now. But believe it or not, even with the 60,000 views on a live stream, most of it is the Philippines where it's being watched. He's probably still only, I bet you if you put everything together, probably about 400 or 500 US, maybe. So it's not the kind of money that people think it is. So because one of the channels, Philippine station, said he was a big vlogger, like he was making good money at it, and George just started laughing. There's no way.
yeah, no, Ruby, it's not. Is it not all there in his mind that his wife is basically managing him and controlling him?
I don't know. I know that one day he wanted to go out and he said it right in front of
I
her,
think
and
they-
she said no. She was laying down, and he's like, no.
I
And
think
he's
they
like,
really did.
"Why?"
Yeah, I think
So-
and I really think they did. It's out of concern again.
But
Don-
if there was that much concern, there shouldn't have been him being there to begin with.
Yeah.
And
Don Papita says he had 1K when I subbed.
okay, yeah,
Don
I knew it
Papita
was at
says, I
one-
got your
1.5.
chosen one if you need a 5-6 loan.
Yeah.
It looked like he set up a food channel for the wife. Oh, that's right. But there's nothing there, I thought.
I thought it was empty.
Yeah, I
so-
thought there's nothing there.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he told her she needed to, and she has a partial TikTok, but I didn't know anything about a food channel.
Yeah, Don Papito says his live streams and his video uploads are mostly white space. What he's saying is he's just standing there.
Most of the time, and that's because he was trying to get it going, and somebody said it's because there's not a lot to do out there. There still is. You guys have seen there's an entire village behind him. He did have an ability to go places, probably not without the family, but
And keep in mind, this is not the only place he's been in the Philippines.
he's been to Zamboanga City, and
Correct.
he's been to, before he headed out, he was in Manila, so he has other times.
I mean,
It's
he
just
was in
that-
Liberia. He could have stories. He has stories, but that's not where he went.
That's what I'm saying. So, thank you so much, Chosen One. Down payment on George helping me set up my YouTube channel. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Bruce Davis, for being a member
you
for
for
8
being
months.
a member. Guys, we're going to wrap this up. We
Oh, Don Papito says you got to talk to the camera like the whole world's watching. Yeah, he tends to like this, and again, and that's from just he needs to learn that skill to stare at the camera. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
You got a trumpet, man.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I can't say too soon on that one.
Do your trumpet.
I can't do a Trump impersonation. I don't even know him enough.
you know, I was going to win the presidency because I am what I am. And I'm just fantastic. And I couldn't have done it without my family and that job at McDonald's I had for 1 hour. Thank you. That's how. And you got to get a bandana like me. It's the only way.
Right.
I like wearing it like this. It's more comfortable. It's kind of corny, but I kind of feel ghetto-tastic.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Ghetto-tastic.
Thank you so much, guys. Again, appreciate
Thank
for
you,
being here. And
guys.
if you guys have any information that you know, feel free to share us again. You can contact us philippineantics@gmail.com.
Get some stuff.
Correct.
Go get another
You can join
psychic
our
reading.
membership. If you're in a high membership, we'll probably message you. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not today. No. And again, give us a thumbs up. Heidi likes that. You know, it makes me live another day.
You almost didn't
another
live this
day.
morning if you start that stuff. It was a hot mess this morning because, oh man, that's all I can tell you what it takes to edit videos.
Listen, Linda. When I want a sandwich, woman, I said, I want a sandwich, Heidi.
We bought some onion bagels from Landers, but there's literally a ton of salt in them. And there's a ton of salt in the cream cheese. And usually cream cheese has salt in it. No, they're both super salty. It's like, I don't know. And I thought it was me just being hypersensitive towards yeah, there's a lot of salt in this. This is really off.
Don't get me wrong. I like it, but
For me, it's a little, yeah. And with my medical issues and stuff, it is not.
Well, because maybe I'm being craving salt because I haven't had much
That's really
salt.
heavy duty. But yeah, so we'll get back to the.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
For the
I appreciate you
subbing.
so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Robert Hoffman says thank you. Learning to Live says thanks for the stream. Victoria says a lot of silliness, dress up hairstyling.
I reckon it was
weird to others. I reckon it was out of boredom. Don Papito, new sub here. Thank you.
I thought she was talking about us. She's talking about him.
Well, when I wear Heidi's bra, you know. Anyway, Sarah Tyson, not at all.
That would be funny if we put that wig on you, the blonde curly one. That would be hilarious.
I should wear it in public. Anyway.
You ain't taking my wig outside.
True. But anyway, next time.
Let me see.
No, next time.
Well, I said my Christmas present is sleeping under the table right now.
All right, you gave it away already. All right, anyway, I'll show you Heidi's Christmas present. The reason why she got the present early is because it's the age thing.
You're not going to.
Yeah, I can.
Careful.
Make sure it's something. Her. It's a her. It's a her. Ta-da! No, it's not ta-da.
It's not ta-da. It's pumpkin. Hi, pumpkin. Why does she do that?
Okay. She doesn't have papers. Her parents have papers. But every time you hold her, her default is she has her chin up. No, she does. See? That's her default.
Yeah, look at the tail.
Yes, she has like a ratty tail. She has a ratty tail. So because of the age of the puppy, I had to give the puppy early. You know, instead of waiting for Christmas. Because, 1 month makes a difference when it comes to puppies. Yes, Don Papito. It's a Shih Tzu. Yes.
Yeah, she is. She just doesn't have the
Yes,
papers, which we're not worried about putting her in.
It's a very beautiful mop. Yes. Mafia. There it is. Mafia.
I don't know why she smells like Chanel No. 5. I still think George brought her from the girlfriend.
Name. Is that a gizmo?
Yeah, we've been trying to come up with a name.
That's a good name, Gizmo.
Yeah, a little girl.
See, look, she has this prideful demeanor. Like, she does that all the time when you hold her.
Well, she reminds me of Pepper. I haven't brushed her today.
What a new kitty.
Hi, kitty.
Stay safe,
the
everyone.
kitties are not happy with this one. Turn around and say hi.
Yeah, adorable.
Hi, she's wagging her tail. She needs brushed.
Don Papito says I feel those. Okay. Yeah, her name. That's it. Her name's Mafia.
Mafia, huh?
Yeah, it's a mop. Mafia, right?
Maybe we had to name her E.T. Maybe Elliot will phone home.
Yeah, needs clipping. Learning to live.
Actually, she was just groomed, but I think
she says definitely looks like Gizmo. There you go. Why don't you put a
how about we name her Ellie? Well, maybe.
Oh, Sarah Tyson wants to see her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There is a face somewhere in this.
So we'll be
list.
putting more of her on the other pet channel we do. Yeah, see, it's her hair.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she has that prideful demeanor.
But she's got a real pretty color to her. But she won't get much bigger. But I don't know what's with the
so
tail.
That's so cute. It's a swiffer, quicker, picker upper. There
Well-
you go. Pretty much.
Look at her all stuck up.
No,
Look at the face.
I know.
I don't know why.
But when you put her on her shoulder, she lays her head down.
For some reason she's always.
But when you
Now
hold her,
understand
yeah,
that
she's like-
with the way their nose is, it's a breathing thing. But I don't know.
Okay. Don Papito says I always went for the puppy cut for my Shih Tzu. There you go. If we take her to the groomer, ask for the puppy cut.
Yeah, I'm thinking about shaving her. I don't think you're
Lawrence Liv
supposed to,
says
but
she is gorgeous. There you go. Yeah.
she's she does like really good. We have the pee pads in the house. George wanted to call her Chewy for Chewbacca, but a lot of people call
It's
them
the
that.
common-
She does have the
it's a
color
common-
of the Chewbacca,
Yeah, common Shih Tzu and
but
Chewy.
she's not going to get much bigger. But no, we have the pet channel.
Well, I wanted her also called Chum Lee,
Aw.
but Heidi didn't like that one.
I was going to call her Shoe Dang or something.
Moo
or
Dang.
Moo
Moo
Dang.
Dang. Moo
Like
Dang.
the cats aren't happy, that's for sure, but they stay separate and everything from her. But yeah, we have the pet channel. We
Yeah.
put the cats on there.
Pup
We'll
cut is
probably
nice
put more
and
of her.
short. There you go.
So for those that are watching, it's linked. So thank you,
Victoria
guys.
says looks like a shepherd Shih Tzu haired. Hard to say.
It seems that they just groomed her, but I think they haven't. I think her hair's super long. I don't know, but might have to see. That's a lot of hair.
My mom's had them in Pomeranians. Oh my gosh, Pomeranians are so loving animals.
I had a baby Chihuahua, and for a long time, and then when I started traveling, but I didn't have Katie for almost a year when I met you. So, but no, she's a good girl. She likes to watch TV, so that's what she's really good for. Is
Yeah.
like when George is doing his own thing, and George has been traveling a little bit more and out and about. So when I'm home, it's nice to have her because the cats don't. It's different with the cats versus the dogs.
Yeah, I love dogs. I love dogs very much. I especially adobo or lechon, or grilled, broiled.
I'm still wondering why she smells like Chanel number 5.
I got her from my kabit.
I believe that crap. He came in. Hey, so let me tell you how the story went. George came in, right? He came in. Yeah, I could see the people that were looking for the drama left. Thank you, drama watchers. Look at dropped by 20 people. We're talking about our dogs and our personal life. He came in and he brought the dog food, and I was like, "Well, I told you I got some for Willie."
Yes, I brought in dog food. Yeah.
And he set it down on the table, and he had the puppy out in the carrier, and he came in and he says, "Because it's for this," and I started crying. So I was crying, and so because, I mean, although we have a couple kitties and everything, and I'm busy and he's busy, it's like it was a nice gesture. Although I was questioning. But yeah,
She's a sweetheart, though. She's a
I don't
sweetheart.
try. Is this all their tails like that, guys?
Oh, where it looks like it's mangled mess.
Why
Yeah.
does it look like a man?
Look at that! Look at that
Is
tail.
she due for
Look
a
at that
cut or
gorgeous
something? Is
tail.
the hair too long, guys? Or
It's a mop. Well, actually, somebody came up with a good name. Sassy or Mop It.
mop it, huh?
Yeah, but Sassy's a good name too.
I like Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie.
How about we name her Ellie for Elliot? That way we're not gonna forget. Anyways, I'm never gonna forget that kid.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
telling you.
Learning to Live says my Chihuahua just passed like 19. I rescued and lost without him just last. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry
Katie
to
was
hear
really
that.
special. I'll have to try to find a picture of Katie. She was a very small miniature
we're so sorry to hear
Chihuahua.
that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
And she listens. That's just it. She's very playful. Like, here's the thing, she just left her mom and the other puppies, right? And it was fun. And they have gnarly. Yeah, she's got these weird teeth in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a normal tail. So okay, thank you for letting us know because we're kind of concerned for the tail.
I was like, what's wrong with
I
her
like
tail?
that.
But she, and then I said, Baby May's gonna think we're copying after her
Oh
because of ta-da.
dang, Ruby. Ruby says, "Did George do something bad?"
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
That had
what
to
did-
be a makeup thing, right?
I don't know.
Secret.
Hey, but so the first few
Scorpion
hours,
tail.
she hardly even moved at all. She hardly, like, she sat like she was depressed. 3 hours in, man, she got up, she started playing, she ate her food. We didn't think she was going to eat, is how she was acting. I said, she was like, she looked around and she got her air conditioning. I said, I'm your mommy, I'm an American, like it made any difference, right? And I said, we're going to sit in the air conditioning, we're going to lay around a bunch. And then she was like, home alone, she's like, I made my family disappear. And she started doing some sort of dance on the floor, right? And she did. She ate up all the food and she was playing with the toys and running through the house. And the sad part is on the tile, she spins out like her feet. She can't get her feet, or I call feeding her foot. She spins, she slides. She is like a mop. She can't, if she tries to take off, she can't do it. It's like she's running in place for a few minutes before she can even get going, is how light she is. It's,
Yeah, and the one and from where I got her from, again, they're very grateful. It says we're really happy that you guys are taking her because we know you'll take good care of her. We watch you guys, and you guys take care of strays and animals, so we know she's going to a good home. So that's what they told me.
I think she
You
she
know.
does need a haircut, doesn't she, guys? I thought she was just. I think she's time for a haircut, babe. Maybe that's why she seems like she's. What's nice is they have groomers that come in the house, and what's with the face?
Yeah,
And they
like Wiley Coyote.
and there's a lot of grooming places here, so and it's fairly inexpensive. I was just telling George that the outfits I used to get for my Chihuahua in the U.S. We would go. What's the name of the pet place? The big building, PetSmart.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the dresses were literally like $20-something each. They could run even higher than that. Here they're like $2 because we're like right here where they're manufactured. The same with the toothbrush and the toothpaste kits. I think they were anywhere between $6 and $9 at PetSmart. They're like 45 pesos or $1 here for the same one, same orange stuff. And not that I would trust any of that stuff anymore. It's after I learned about the chemicals and the things. It's but no, I'm sure she needs a haircut, but she smells pretty. You still smell pretty.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
we had time for my PetSmart story, but that's for a different life now.
Oh no. Well, here, how about this? Look what I get.
Oh wait,
Your hair, babe.
I need a battery.
Oh. Well, there's one.
Just have to reach over. This is one of my early Christmas presents.
He gave me the dog. I
it's
gave
prelude to
him.
my Xbox One. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what you told me.
Yeah, I told you you're not going to get one.
Oh. Okay, so anyway, this is what I got for Christmas. It's chicken with a leg, an egg sticking out its butt. And then you turn it on.
That's her little paw. It is a paw. That's her paw.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
right.
see, yeah,
It's
no,
got it.
no. Yeah.
You
see,
guys
see.
can't see it. They can't see it. Babe.
No, well, that's why I
It's-
showed it before I turned it on. I showed it before I turned it on.
Yeah, it looks like an egg in the bottom.
Yeah, it's a lamp.
He needed a night light on his side of the bed.
Yeah, because I'm scared.
Very
Scared.
nice of me. You're always
Yeah.
scared.
Scared.
Something.
Home Alone haircut.
That's
If you don't brush them, their hair will get matted up and causes them pain.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got her a brush. Yeah.
Sarah Tyson says, "Where's Willie?"
He's outside.
He's outside.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he has a new thing now. Oh my gosh.
We let him out and he runs beings this it's not a main street that's out by the house. He runs up the street and down the street, up the street, down the street.
Yeah, he basically insists not to defecate in the carport.
Not anymore. One day he went an entire day if you don't let him out.
And
at
we
night
didn't
now.
train him that way. He just decided not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, a desktop egg
Yes,
incubator.
egg incubator. Chosen One says, I'm scared of the dark too. Hair groom. There you go.
Yeah, it's really fairly inexpensive.
Oh,
hair.
thank you so much.
Aw,
Appreciate it.
thank
It's
you,
money for hair
Sarah.
grooming. There you go. All right, now you really have to take her to a hair groomer. Not you. That's not for you. That's for Moppet. That reminds me of the, twist it. Damn it. Bang it. Well, you never played that? Twist the. Anyway.
Well, I almost said I know you like to play with kids, but I was going
Well, at least you can tell they belong together. Just saying.
to wait a minute.
I take out my. Oh, I guess not. Mine isn't like that. I
Hey,
don't
look.
even have
Hey,
that
look.
hair.
Who does she look
I
more?
don't have that
Who
hair.
does she look more like?
Now, if I go like this, maybe. Yeah, if I do that.
What's your?
Oh, Victoria says you too. You two get a grooming. Oh, she's so proud, isn't she?
She's proud.
No, no.
She's just looking at you.
No, she does the chin up thing. She's a sweetheart.
We got her some diapers today, and George too. I bet you those diapers will fit you.
Sarah says, haha, good one. Both of you. Oh, crap. Yeah, both of you get a haircut. There you go. Definitely see a family resemblance.
What?
Yeah.
What's that? Hey, look.
I feel outnumbered here, just saying.
Oh, there you are. What is that?
Oh, she listened now.
There she is. She loosens up after me. Like I said, she sat here frozen for a few hours, and then all of a sudden, about the third hour in, oh, you can see where she got my neck, the sensitive skin. But she just took off like she was like, I made my family disappear. Who cares about my mom and kids? And she's got the cats, and so she's starting to relax. Yeah, I need to. We've got the wipes for her eyes too, because every morning. That's because they're low to the ground and everything. But we'll have more of.
Yeah.
We've been calling her Pumpkin, but what was her name that she was given?
Okay, her name, she was birth name, I guess. Tala, which
Tala.
means star.
So Tala's a good name, but it's so close to Tada, and I can't remember Tala half the time. I've been calling her Pumpkin.
Well, you call her Talia.
Yeah, I was calling her Talia, so
Talia.
I still can't.
But her name's Tala, yeah. But, of course, I don't think we'll stick with that because, again, there's nothing wrong with Tala, don't get me wrong. Stars, there's nothing wrong. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. We love you all. Thank you for being here to the very end.
Thank you. All right,
We
thank
love
you guys. God
And
bless
thank
you
you
guys.
so much for your support. Thank you so much,
And
Victoria.
remember, for right now to the first year, the live stream in a few days, it's going to be Mondays, which is for the U.S., or Tuesday for the Philippines, and Thursdays like today, or Saturday 1 for the next few weeks. With so many things going on, we'll be skipping them unless something comes up. I might do one. So
I have seeds to sow. I have a hotel to
he's been spending
visit.
time with his uncle and grandbaby,
Yep,
and
I have to do a lot of
friends,
hotel
and we've been
reviews.
doing
If you
things.
know what I'm
It's a
saying.
holiday, so but there'll still be 2 lives, and we have a video coming out tomorrow, so we'll still be doing the Friday videos. We have the Luck Fu, which George managed to come back around, and then the other one. So yeah, we have the where'd we go? We went to Orange Bucket finally. That was interesting. We had ribs and tibs.
Yes.
So, all
Bye,
right,
guys. Love
God
you
bless,
all.
guys.
Later, peeps. Have a
Bye-bye.
good one. Stay safe. Bye.
Oh, I was just having her.
Oh, okay. I see. Enjoy
Okay,
the rest
baby.
of the day, Kuya George and Ate Heidi. Oh, bye, Ross and Ray. Our walks.
So, baby, she said, "What is that?"
No, she's jealous. Yes, she's jealous. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. She's bigger than